stiff arms the crap out of Drake Kirkpatrick right there.
Going down again. That's Q. Len Williams.
Fighting through contact, fighting through offensive linemen, being double team, multiple moves stacked into one, just a play of pure domination. This is actual film, this is actual football talk. It's a football show, we're supposed to talk football, not storylines. And you are listening to the 38th edition of Blitz. Today I will be recapping, or tonight, or whenever you listen to this, you might be listening to this after the Jets play the Broncos on Thursday Night Football, because this is being released on a Wednesday night. With the film coming out, this is as quick as I can get it done. So obviously I would like to have it done on Tuesday, so to give you guys like 2 days to watch it. But hopefully you watch it after the brutal hopefully you watch the film breakdown of the brutal loss to the Colts, which at this point, I don't even get mad anymore. I just get numb to it. Like, I'm sitting there watching the games, and it's all happening, and people are yelling at the screen. Also, I'm like, why do you care? Like, what is the point? What is the point of caring right now about the Jets losing with all these people who are going to get fired and all these players who are going to be replaced? Like I've said from the start of this season, even before the first game, this year is about the young players. So that's what we're here to evaluate: the Darnolds, the Becktons, the Quinnen Williams, the John Franklin Myers, who's taking steps up, the Bryce Huffs, the potentially Lawrence Cagers and Barrioses and Mims and Davis when he plays, and Zuniga and P. Ryan. So it's all about that stuff. 13 more games to go. The interesting storyline of the entire season will be Darnold. If he's going to be the guy, is he not going to be the guy? Again, I've made my case that I think he can be the guy, but he needs to absolutely show me that undoubtedly he will be a top 10, top 5 guy after this season. And I think that's a tough hill to climb at this point. So if the Jets do finish with one of those top 5 picks, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. We can get to a really lengthy discussion about that if you guys want to ask about exactly why I think that. Monday, 6:00, like I said, the first Monday of every single month is going to be the live stream show on YouTube with myself and Kyle Smith. So this Monday at 6:00, so about 5 days away, we'll do some superlatives. We'll take some mailbag questions. So if you guys do have mailbag questions, email me at joe.blewett, BLEWETT, at Jets with an S, xfactor.com. You can email me your questions there. You can tweet me your questions. You could comment in the YouTube comment section below. We'll answer your questions. We'll do some superlatives. And then we want to take calls. We'll have a call-in number. And then we'll also have the reactions down below. You guys can comment, and we'll talk about more storyline type stuff. So I'll explain my feelings on Darnold and why or why not they should move on for him after this year if he continues to play the way he does. Considering, I know he has a bad coaching staff and what he's been surrounded with. It's a loaded topic, so I'd like to get into it in more detail on that Monday show. So definitely tune into that. Other than that, JoeRB31 on Twitter. I post like game day reactions there, which has always been hot and cold. One day I'm hot, one day I'm cold with those. And people, my follower count tends to jump up and down from those shows. But I've been posting little film on my Twitter, not a ton. I'm going to start posting some film in there, but with trying to get these shows done, that like last episode took me 4.5 hours, which this one will not. I'm saying that, while recording the first 5 minutes of it, so hopefully it doesn't. You guys might be laughing at me and calling me an asshole if this is 3.5, 4 hours, but I don't think it's going to be. I only got 50 plays this week. I shortened it down a little bit just because of how short the shelf life is. The reviews this week, like I said, if you are subscribing on YouTube and you watch on YouTube, if you just go to your podcast app real quick, like if you listen to whatever you listen to, Joe Rogan or Bill Burr or the history podcast, whatever you listen to, if you could just search the podcast and drop it a 5-star, that'd be great. A review even better. Once we get to 75 reviews, I'm going to take the last 25 reviews, throw your name into a hat, basically, the list randomizer on the computer. I'll share that, and then whoever comes out will win a free t-shirt. But I think we got 5 reviews this week, which is the best week I think we've ever had. So I really appreciate everybody. So, Gree Badan, whatever that, I'm really pronouncing that wrong. GREE Bad Line or whatever the hell it is. Appreciate your review. Matt JZ, appreciate your review. Maurice G77, Very thorough, no BS. Love that. Richie P18 and Librero _2. You guys both left long ones. I really, really appreciate all the kind of words. You guys are killing it. I was talking to some Titans fans, which, by the way, that's why I'm rocking the Titans Cup tonight. And Raiders fans who are in the YouTube comments who watch the show. So it's freaking awesome. So let's get on with the game. It's 36-7, obviously brutal loss. The Jets were relatively competitive at first, and you're kind of thinking in your head, like, oh my God, the Jets actually might win this game, might be competitive, but then it kind of creeps in that this is the Jets of 2020 and it's not going to happen. And it's funny too. I don't know about you guys. I'm not advocating betting, but if you do, I put $5 down on Braxton Berrios being the first touchdown. I I think it was like 95 or 105, whatever it was. And of course, pick six the first play, so you don't pick that to be the first touchdown of the game, or not the first play. Sorry, the first drive that the Jets have is a pick six, and then Berrios scores the next touchdown. So that was fun. That was very fun to watch. So like I said, 50 plays. We're going to start with the duds because that's what we do when the Jets lose, and that's what they are this year. They're losers. Let's be completely honest. So again, Monday 6:00, call in. I want to hear people voice out their opinions, their frustrations, head coaches, who they want, draft, like whatever you guys want to talk about. I really couldn't care any less. I just wanted to chat with the people. I thought that'd be fun to do once a month. So you just go into whatever you listen to or whatever you watch on now on YouTube, just click on the link. It'll be there and say 6:00. You can click on it and watch live. And maybe I think we're going to do one of those shows as well, by the way. I know it's me, Kyle Smith, a lot. I think we're going to do one of them with Marcus Coleman. Marcus Coleman, former NFL DB, is a friend of mine at this point. So he'll jump on for one if I ask him to do one. So we'll have that. My third dud of the game, and we could go into this a lot. I'm actually going to promote something that Robbie Sabo did from Jets X Factor, which we're both for the same website. He broke down the first play of the game. I believe it's a post wheel concept to the left side. Darnold rolls out to the left side versus cover 3. I'm okay with that concept, but the big problem on that play was that you want to have backside help just in case that free safety does roll over to that side, which he most likely is going to do because of the boot action from Darnold. But the receiver on the backside runs an out route instead of a crossing route, which would be fine because if it is cover 3 or if it is single high, you're expecting that man on the backside to either win man coverage, and then whether it be cover 1 or cover 3, that middle field safety is going to drift over to the rollout side, and then you can look backside and there should be a guy streaking across the field. The Jets run the concept with the guy on the backside running an out route, which makes absolutely no sense. I don't know if that was a miscommunication or not a miscommunication, but the player just blew the play, which comes back to coaching. So that was really terrible. So I'm going to leave you to go to his breakdown for that. I'm not going to steal his thunder with that play. There's plenty of things about Gase that were bad. Time management, the runs on second down consistently, the lack of balls that he has going for it, or just conceding the game. It's a lot of bad with Gase, obviously. I'm going to show one route concept that doesn't make sense. Again, just with Robbie, you can go watch that if you do subscribe to him as well. If you watch his stuff, I'll promote that. So let's I got to manage some of my screens here. 3rd and 8 with pressure, and this is when Darnold takes a sack. Is this the okay? Yeah, so this is the safety. The thing that doesn't make sense to me on this play is, so the Jets run a smash concept to the bottom of the screen. The one thing about this is, well, actually, there's kind of two things. The backside, I don't necessarily like them running right to the sticks. So one, that route concept right there is a little bit shorter. That route's a little bit short. So I don't love this overall. Like, okay, you run a hitch or a stop route or a stick route, whatever you want to call it. But one, it has to be past the sticks. And 2, with a guy who's not going to really win versus press coverage, I'd rather have that be a crossing route again over the middle. So that's the first thing I don't like. The second thing I don't like with the blitz coming, which they only blitz 5. The thing I don't like about this route concept is the ground given right here on the bottom of the screen. On on a smash concept to work, especially on 3rd and 8, you need to really put this guy in conflict. I think this is Barrios. He's running this route so short of this on the smash concept that he's not threatening the first down marker. So any smart defensive player is going to get depth, play underneath of this corner route, and then rally up to make the tackle. So Barrios, whether it be coaching, Barrios doing it, whatever, again, falls on the head coach. You guys are not executing properly. I'm not the type of guy, okay, well, you should make Greg Van Roten the next Quentin Nelson. No. So I'm not like exactly like that with people. People are like, oh, it's all about the coach. That's not true. But in terms of like how far you run your routes and stuff, that's a lot on coaching. So Barrios needs to run this up the field more to threaten this guy and to put him in more conflict. And if not that, he needs to at least put this route at least needs to be a little bit shorter on the top. And he probably, let's see if there was not pressure, maybe he could have knifed this in there, but then I'm a tough throw. So I don't like this route concept with Barrios running it 5 yards short of the sticks. If anything, if this is going to be as deep as it is, Barrios needs to come up to the 13, 14-yard line right here, which is going to force 34 to jump up because then he can easily catch the ball and turn up for another yard or two. Whereas him this far, or this shallow, he could easily play underneath this and rally up and make the tackles. So like it's the littlest things that with route concepts that matter, and putting the cloud corner right here in conflict, especially on 3rd and 8, in this scenario we're trying to pick it up is something that's absolutely a necessity, and they do not do it. So that's an issue. So I'm not gonna go too much into Gase again. If he's here next year, I'll make a whole entire show hammering him. That's not what's going to happen. He's not going to be here, so I don't want to spend a ton of time on a guy who, by the time you're watching this, is hopefully fired. And it's kind of where Jets fans are in this shitty spot right now, is because you want to root for the Jets to win, but at the same time, you want Gase to get fired. And even if you want Gase to get fired, are you still rooting? And I always go into the games like, okay, the Jets, in my head says they should lose this game for better draft position, and it sucks that we're already there at this point in the season, but then you have that first overall pick. If you want Darnold, if you're one of those people, if Darnold proves to be the guy, sure. Trade down, get a shit ton of picks, build around him. I'm falling towards the side of, okay, if you're that bad, you reset the clock with the rookie, the contract. Darnold's not making the plays he's making his rookie year. You have a stud in the draft in Lawrence. And again, we'll go over this, but I think if they finish that first pick, I think it'd be pretty silly to skip on Lawrence, because I think Darnold can be the guy. He was treated unfairly. He was in a shitty spot. Is there a possibility he turns into Ryan Tannehill and goes out and becomes a solid quarterback? Yes, there's a chance, but I need to bet my house on it that he's going to be that guy for me to skip on Trevor Lawrence. That's pretty much where I come from. So moving on to the second dud of the game. Again, don't want to hammer Gase too much. He's hopefully fired by the time you're even listening to this, or hopefully you listen to it right before tonight or even before the game. But if you don't, then hopefully you come back just to learn about the other stuff. So defense, it was terrible. The defense is the worst I've seen in years. I don't know the ranking. I don't know if they're 20th, 25th, 17th, 12th. I don't give a shit about what the rankings are. I don't look at stats like that. They are terrible. Absolutely. I think they're the worst defense in the league. I really don't know if there's a worse defense than the Jets right now. Maybe like the Falcons or the Cowboys or whatever. I know they're letting like 40, 50 points a game, whatever, but I think the Jets could easily let up 30 plus 40 points every one of these games if teams actually tried. The Bills had 2 fumbles in the green zone. I believe they're actually in the red zone. The green zone, I consider it the 40 and inside. They could have scored another 2-3 touchdowns. They had 2 missed field goals. I believe it was, 2 missed field goals, and then the 2 Josh Allen fumbles. You have the Niners who were banged up and had their backup cornerback, and their starting quarterback when he was in the first half was beating us on a hobbled leg, absolutely shredding us. Phillip Rivers shredded us. Like it was absolutely terrible. Again, so we have about 10 plays from the defense. Again, a little bit shorter of a show, but this is. I don't want to keep people for too long. 4.5 hours was a maybe a little bit too lengthy, which is understandable because that's definitely a long show. I did not mean it for it to be that long, but it was. So the defense, just the miscommunications, the lack of speed from the linebackers, the lack of overall pass rush that they're getting from the edges, which makes it hard. for guys like Quinn Williams on the inside to really get to the quarterback, because the quarterback can just drop back and those edges are never pinched. So, so we have the top of the screen here. They just have a ton of miscommunication issues. So they run a sail concept right here, short, intermediate, deep, and it's actually almost more of like a flood, because the top of the guy he's not running vertical, he's running that corner. So it's almost more of a it's called a flood, called a sail. They're both three little reads on the sideline. Usually the flood has the outside guy running the deep comeback or the deep curl, with the inside guy running the smash and then the flat route. So if you want to consider a sail, I would say it's more of a sail than a flood, actually, just because of where they run their routes from. But you have a bunch of guys who just don't pass off what they're supposed to be doing. So he reads 1 to 2, because he's in the curl to flat. So once he sees anybody breaking out to the flat, he has to jump on him. He should be reading 2 to 1, so he should match this 2 pull right here. But again, they just spot drop. So at this point, I'm fine with that. I think Poole should have carried him, and then Hewitt should have matched. And if Hewitt didn't match, then Poole drops off, and then McDougal jumps on the deep corner. None of that ever really happens. They all just kind of spot drop. He doesn't match. You have McDougal, who sees this as the only vertical threat that he has to be concerned about. What does he do? He continues to backpedal and gives him 10 yards of room. Phillip Rivers rolls out with a really clean pocket and drops it right into his receiver with plenty of room to spare. It's too easy. It's just too easy versus Jets defense. They are really just that bad. Just basic passing off of 2 to 1s, 1 to 2s, things that for people who don't really know about it, which a lot of people I'm hoping are learning about this stuff through the show, seems like a novel concept. Like, oh my God, or they have to do this and that. And that's crazy. But these guys are paid millions of dollars to do this stuff, people. Like, it's, at a certain point, we have to hold them pretty accountable. The next guy who I will hold accountable, who the first game, again, you guys come here and 2 people have left the reviews in the last couple of weeks. No bullshit. Blitz Austin has been pretty bad. The first week he missed 3-4 tackles. Last week he was dreadful, in my opinion. Not dreadful. He was bad the last game against the Niners. This game he was bad again. He's just not playing well. And this is what I said before the season, I believe. A lot of people were hyping up to be a number 1, number 2 guy in the future. And even after the first was like, maybe he could be number 2 in the future. Right now he's looking like he's a reserve player, and I'm not saying a reserve like, oh, that's terrible. I still think for a 6th round pick, being that 4th or 5th string guy on a team consistently would not be a bad thing. I just don't. He has not shown any capability of being a starting NFL corner, because he's been getting roasted. He hasn't made many plays. You see him. People see him in the broadcast because he makes a hard hit once a game, but then he missed 3-4 tackles. And his coverage has been he's lost at times. Here he gets beat by a whip route by Michael Pittman on 3rd and 6, and it's because of his technique. Again, he's playing in no man's land, like I like to call it, and myself and Marcus Coleman, where he's playing, that 3 yards off where he can't get his read steps in, which if you're in off coverage, the benefit of that is taking your 2-3 read steps, reading the quarterback's drop. Based on the quarterback's drop, that's how you react to the route. He's not in position to do that because he's too close. He's not in position to get his hands on because he's too far off and he's going to have to reach for contact. So he doesn't have any hands on. You have Pittman who breaks inside. You have Bless Austin's eyes who are inside. Again, I always say it, when you're not on the receiver, if you're about a half a yard off and about to contact the receiver and you're about to get, body contact, if you have good makeup speed, you can look at the quarterback to see the ball. If you're closing ground on a receiver, you cannot look back to the quarterback because you lose your lose your vision. You react late. You could see it right here. His eyes are inside on the quarterback. He reacts late, and it only takes a split second. These guys are elite athletes for him to get outside. So that's my first issue. My second issue, that's my second issue. My first issue being his alignment. Second issue, his eyes. They're not on the receiver. They are on the quarterback. Third issue is when guys cut like this, if you are making ground, you have to, what people refer to as jet stream them. You don't want to take an angle too high over the top. You want to get right on their ass. If they do make the catch for 2-3 yards, guess what? It's 3rd and 6. So at this point, if he jet streams and gets more basically on his ass, he makes the catch. It's 4th and 4, 4th and 3, 4th and 2 at best. But what getting on his ass does, there's two things. One, it guards against him breaking back. Just like when you guard double moves, you want to play the upfield shoulder, because if he does do a double move, he has to work that upfield shoulder. That's where you are. Same thing with these type of plays on whip routes. You want to get onto his ass, because if he does break backwards, you're behind him. So he's going to come into contact with you. You're going to be able to grab him. So when you come over at this flat of an angle, you're allowing him that break backwards. So terrible situational awareness in terms of the angle taken to the ball, playing off, eyes inside. He gets beat in the whip route, catch, first down. Way too easy. Way too easy. Moving on. Again, the defense has been brutal. I'm I'll try to move through this. I'm going to try to make this like a 2-hour podcast. Is it going to happen? No. 2.5 hours. That's my limit. I'm hoping for. So this is just, again, I just threw a bunch of plays from the defense in here. I even do like a how do you win versus the Broncos shit. I'll talk about it, but again, by the time a lot of people listen to this, it's going to be after this game. So this is some of the penalties the Jets have been getting. I don't know if this is NFL wide, but some of the pass interference penalties have been bullshit. Really. And I don't care about roasting Pierre Desir. He's not going to be here in 2021, most likely. The Bills game versus the Rams, bullshit penalty on the Rams that won the Bills a game. Even though the Bills do deserve it, don't get mad at me, Bills fans. You guys are 3-0. I think you're legit 3-0. I'm not here to roast the Bills. I don't hate the Bills fans. Bills fans got pretty cocky after they made the playoffs for first time in 20 years. But again, the Jets finished like 6-2, and Jets fans are talking shit about how good the Jets are going to be, and they beat a bunch of bad teams. But the fans I hate the most, I hope other AFC East fans agree with me. At least I know I have Jets fans and Bills fans who watch the show. I'm not Dolphins and Patriots fans, but I don't like Dolphins fans. I'm sorry, guys. Dolphins fans are absurdly cocky and arrogant for people who have not won anything at all. But some of these penalties this year, I think, have been bullshit. So I don't like that he's playing so far off again. In the red zone, I would like to see him cheat a little bit even more inside. He looks like he's heads up, but you really want to guard against inside moves in the red zone. So I always seem to stay a little bit more shallow and a little bit more inside. That's my first problem with his alignment. But he's able to stay over the top. He gets his shuffling. He keeps his hips pretty square. He takes a good angle to cut off Hilton. Gets his hands on, which – at this point for hands-on, you could play. He's playing through the receiver and through the ball. If he was turned around towards the ball with his back to the receiver, I'd have an issue with his coverage, but that's not the case. He's matching the receiver. He's getting his eyes back on the ball. You can clearly see Hilton's left hand into the chest of Pierre Desir. Hilton extends, pushes off, tries to find the ball, and flops. There's nothing that makes his body do what it does right here. Absolutely nothing. The ball is over his head and uncatchable. He pushes off, and unless he had a spasm in midair, he completely flops right here and falls to the ground. And the refs fall for it and call the freaking penalty. The ball is uncatchable, and if anything is pass interference on him, Jets penalty. This is on 3rd and goal. Now it's 1st and goal, and they run it in or whatever the hell they do. That's bullshit. There's no way anybody can convince me that's a penalty. It's just it's not. It's really not. I don't know what you're supposed to do as a defender if you can't get your hands on. Jets, another blown D. Okay, again, miscommunications. It's just the Jets defense is almost hard to figure out because of all the miscommunications. You can't tell what type of defense it is. Goal line. Thing a lot of teams do, the Patriots do it, a lot of teams do it, is play action, tight end blocks, leaks out. It happens all the time. What happens? Jets start to fill their gaps. You have Mo Alley Cox right here who base blocks Phillips, leaks out. You have, this is most likely Hewitt, in my opinion. You have Basham, who is matching the flat. So he's doing his job, but you could see Hewitt come downhill into the A gap and then go into oh shit mode. So he was widening out with the threat in a flat, and Hewitt, goes to fill his run fit and leaves his assignment in Mo Alley Cox, his zone coverage, whatever it may be, whether it be man or zone. It looked like more of a zone than a man, and it goes into oh shit mode. Easiest touchdown that 90 of my 100 followers or listeners, 90 out of every 100 that listen, it's not just 100 people, would catch this. This is as pretty much as easy as it gets. A nice floater over the middle. Well, not floater, but that's about as easy as it gets for an NFL tight end. So good job, Jets defense. Moving on. '21, McDougald blown coverage. He's not been playing well, people. And this is something that myself and Marcus talked about. I thought he was an okay starting safety, and he's been below that right now. He looks disinterested at times. Clearly, we'll talk about one of the plays he blew, but you have a high-low here. It's like a levels type concept. It's not necessarily a drive because the guy underneath the guy over top is not running. Whether it be a post or a dig based on the coverage. But they're just attacking the middle of the field with the linebackers right here with the 2 and 3. He runs vertical to take the safety, and this guy's going to run behind the linebacker level. What happens is you have Hewitt, they open up in Tampa 2. He matches. You have the deep guy, and then you have the over route. What happens? It's a cover 2. 1 Tampa, 1-1-1, or 4 underneath the Tampa, and then the 2 deep guys. You have McDougald right here on the top, whose eyes are completely fixated on the 1 threat right there, who runs a snag, never looks to the other side of the field, is completely absorbed into that, and there is a deep crosser, and it's caught. So whether this be, which I don't know why Henry Anderson, there was way too much of Henry Anderson, Quinn Williams dropping into coverage this week. So I will give. Or no, sorry. So this is Q and Henry Anderson dropping into coverage right here. There's too much of this shit this game. I get it every once in a while. Drop your defensive lineman to be that wall player, to basically blow up anything within 5 yards. Fine, I get it. But dropping them to legitimate coverage is bad because if anything, Henry Anderson should have matched the 3, becoming the 3 threat. He does not. He spot drops. You have McDougald, who I want his eyes to flash over here. None of those guys do that. Wide open catch with as much room as you could possibly have. And he runs forward for 10, 15, 20, 25, about 30 yards. What am I looking at here? I don't know why I recorded this angle, but let's see. Really nothing. Just he's got dropping into coverage. Maybe that was my point of doing this, but it's not pretty. It is bad. All right. Moving on. 26, 27, 31. Austin. I just have Austin with question marks. This is not going to be a good play, I think. This is where I don't feel like typing a description. I was like, what is this guy doing? Okay, so you have looks to be a cover 3, but you have Poole matching the number 2. So he might be like in a safety role, like the Ripple is type deal. Regardless, you have Bless Austin on the top right here. And just watch what Bless Austin does. Is there an easier way to get beat for a first down? What are you doing? Whether this be man coverage, which I don't think it could be. There's combo coverage. There's a man on the backside if there's only one wide receiver out there, or cover 3. Play heads up to outside, especially if it's cover 3. You want to play outside leverage to funnel everything inside. At least play heads up. Blessed Austin stares at he doesn't take his read steps because he reads the quarterback the entire damn time. Look at his eyes. Inside, 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 inside. Opens inside. So now this entire area of the field, whether it be an out, a comeback, a stop, whatever it be, is wide open. He's giving this up. He does not care about any of this right here. And this is on 1st and 20, by the way. So he gives up at 1st and 20. Opens inside. Hilton breaks out. He trips, doesn't get there in time. Takes a bad angle. Again, you want to see this a little bit more high to cut him off. He takes a too aggressive an angle, falls down, and then Hilton runs for a first down. Thank God that Hilton wasn't able to maintain his balance and then beat McDougald, because this would have been this could have been a 90-yard touchdown, because Austin can't play this more poorly. Stay over the top, weave. If he does start to stem you inside or outside, don't completely open your hips and just give up the outside. You can open up your hips like this. One, if you're in a bail technique, if you're in a hinge technique where you're going to press, get off the line and bail. If it's cover 3, cover 4, and you're funneling him inside or letting him break inside because you have help on the inside. If it's a cone defense, like there's ways you could open like this, but never with inside leverage. And again, way too easy. Catch, boom, done. Roasted. It's just bad. All right. The defense is in no man. Like I know they're playing not Jeff Driscoll this game. Brett Rippon, but if you can make easy reads for him underneath and just give him checkdowns, because the Jets can't tackle and the linebackers can't cover, can they even stop a third string, undrafted rookie? I don't know. Is he even the third string? Maybe he's fourth string at this point for their team. Like if you had Locke, if Bortles was there for longer, if Driscoll was, I don't know why they benched Driscoll exactly, but third, fourth string quarterback. So Tampa 2, again, the Jets run it so much, and a lot of people will kill Greg Williams for this, and I understand, what the hell they keep running zone for. My problem with his zone defense is, and again, Quinn Williams is dropping into coverage, by the way. So you have Quinn Williams who play, and this is my problem with Greg Williams. You had Quinn Williams who only played 55% of the snaps, and he dropped into coverage a couple of times. So you're only getting 30 snaps to rush the passer or whatever it may be. And let's say 30 snaps in general. Let's say 5 of those you drop into coverage. Now you have 25, 30 reps. 10 of those are against the run. You only have 15 times to rush your passer against Quentin Nelson. He's not going to look great this game. It's just, so he was, again, putting Quentin Williams in positions that he's not going to succeed, and him dropping into coverage is not one of them. So for the people who are killing him, don't. But for Tampa cover, for the zone coverage, my problem with his defense is not the zone. It's the fact that it's spot dropping. There's no matching. There's no 1 to 2, 2 to 1, 3 to 2, any of that stuff. It's just get into your zone and cover grass. Covering grass is not successful. You want to cover men. You don't want to cover grass. So what do? They cover grass all the time. They don't have the capabilities to play in man coverage. A lot of people, play him in man. They get roasted in man. Blitz more. I think he blitzed like 30% of the time, which is actually a relatively high number. You blitz, you leave your guys on islands, they get shredded. Like there's honestly, I feel bad for Greg Williams, but there's no way to win with this defense. I would like to see a little bit more spot dropping. Pattern matching. So you have a flat 5 right here. Again, puts this cloud defender in conflict. Ideally, what you see some teams do is at this point he matches. You had, I think, the Sear here, or Mullet, or whoever the hell it is, match the 1, him match the 2 at this point, and he would carry him inside a little bit more. That's not what happens. So McDougald has to see that this is his only vertical threat. This is his concern. He can check the inside real quick. This is a snag. He is not his concern at all. This is a flat. What are you supposed to do now? Jump down onto this route because he's a vertical threat and he is clearly open. McDougald on the bottom right here waits too long, continues to backpedal. Phillip Rivers sees the receiver, throws it to him, catch, and McDougald makes the hit, but he comes down too late. It is elementary type stuff that this Jets defense is struggling with. Let's see the next play. Austin beat. Yeah, I think if I could just make him the dud for number 2, it would be him more than anybody. Him and McDougald were brutal. I think they're the main takeaways of this defense being bad. And the linebackers too. The linebackers just cannot cover. So again, the Denard Wilson, I remember him getting a lot of hype. You can go back to 2016, 17 when I started breaking down the film, and I did not like him. I don't like how he coaches. Or if these guys are playing like this, you have to change something. You have man coverage, man. Obviously, they cover 1, man. Austin is playing so far inside of his guy that he's giving up anything outside. Again, look how far he's off, and not even off, because if you were heads up and he was here where my mouse is, you could break. but he's giving him so much room inside that any type of again out comeback curl is going to beat him. What happens? They run a curl route right to the sticks. Austin is so far inside, he opens his hips up early again and gets burned. He gets burned underneath all the time. Stay over the top, get into a back pedal, get ready to throw your T-step or quarter step and break on the ball. Not play inside, stare at the quarterback, open up like a jackass, let him get so much room, both outside leverage of you and vertical relationship, and let him beat you on a curl. 1st and 10, it's easy. It's pitch and catch with this Jets defense. This is brutal. What are you doing? Bless Austin has been bad. So hopefully that changes. Next play, even worse. McDougald. People know this play. Do I even have to explain anything? He fills his run fit. They run duo. McDougald fills, good job. What is this tackle attempt? And this is the guy criticizing the Jets for not practicing hard? Whoever taught anybody to tackle like this? Just throw your just drop your hips and throw your shoulder at a guy. Since when is that okay? Bench him. Bench. I don't even care. Bench Bless Austin. Maybe he tries, but he's been terrible. Play Mollett. Play Hairston. These guys are just brutal. And even Marcus May, man, like his first game, I said it here. And again, you can go back and listen to the shows. The good thing is everything I say is recorded. I said his first game was overhyped. I thought he was solid, but not great. People are hyping him up like he was the next freaking Jamal Adams. He wasn't good this game either. He got beat last game for 2 touchdowns by Jordan freaking Reed. The missed tackles haven't been good with him. He's not the same guy in the box as Adams is, obviously. What do I want to see McDougald do here? I want to see him stay square. Obviously, not drop to your knees and throw your shoulder at a guy. I would like to see him close ground, stay square, have a tight relationship to this offensive lineman who's down blocking on Henry Anderson while maintaining an outside relationship, an outside to in relationship, just in case he does bounce it to the outside. And then once he gets to your plane, you cross your helmet into right across his hips, you freaking wrap up, and you drive like you're taught to tackle in 4th grade. I'm almost dropping F-bombs, so I'm trying to be sensitive to the people out there who do listen with kids because I know it happens. So some shows it's going to happen. Some I'll try to reserve myself. I'm not trying to curse. I don't think it sounds cool, but this is terrible. Absolutely dreadful by McDougald. He's gone. Desir's gone. A lot of this team should be gone. The Jets have a ton of cap space, a ton of draft picks. Get rid of them. I don't want to see this shit anymore. This is the last year that I'm dealing with the bullshit from the Jets because this is just it's been too long of this just uncompetitive football. Austin beat. Holy shit. And I said I'm not going to curse, but wow, this is a shocker. Austin got beat? No way. Very similar situation on the bottom. Again, he always plays on the bottom. He always plays on the right side of the defense, the left side of the offense. First thing I don't like, what happened? What am I going to say? A little bit too far off. Outside leverage, I'm okay with that. What does he do? The guy closes ground, jump splits. Right here, see his feet. They both separate. Now his balance is off. His weight is more on his heels than it should be. Gets his hands on, which I'm fine with. The receiver pushes off, which is pretty clear. Austin's eyes seemingly go inside. Again, takes too high of an angle. The receiver adjusts to Brissett in the pocket, getting pressured, breaks outside, catch on 3rd down and 5 or 3rd and 4. And they get it for 15 yards. Again, what should you do? Take a more aggressive angle. You hope that if he continues inside that you have Williamson right there who will react and tackle him, but you just can't get beat anything on outside. Again, guy just breaks outside and easy catch. Done, and it's over. One more play of the defense. All right. And then we get to a large chunk of our show. Again, only 50 plays, so hopefully it's going to be pretty quick. May Desir missed tackle. Okay, so you have May, who's in the box right here. They run a tight belly zone where it's really meant to cut to the backside. You have Williamson who fills the play side. You have the C gap. You have Hewitt who's going to fill the A gap. You see that open grass, he's going to fill it. You have Marcus May who should be patient on the backside. You need patience on the backside of plays. He reacts hard to the backside B gap, turns his hips, doesn't stay square, doesn't shuffle. I believe that's Wilkins who cuts backside and gets it easy pickup of yards. Why? Because May he reacts too hard with his hips. He needs to stay square, stay over the top, guard against both the backside A, the backside B, the backside C. This is a huge area for him to cover, but you're not going to cover the backside with your hips open like this. So it's about just discipline and playing it correctly. Cuts backside. Oh shit! Can't make the tackle. Desir comes in. Or is that Desir? Who drags his face? No, that's actually McDougald. So my apologies. He dives into the legs. You have Wilkins who jumps over it. Good job, staying high with his knees. Instead of taking a good pursuit angle, cutting him off, getting his hands actually on, he dives for it, missed tackle. And then you have, who is this? I don't know who that is. If somebody, is that 36? Do we have hold on. Does he get up? Is that Desir? Why would Desir be playing on that side? I don't know if that's Desir or maybe it's Poole. Who can figure this out? Who's gonna be the first person to message me on? I could go back and watch this a million times, but I don't want to see who this is. Because I'll go looking for his freaking what he wears. But you have May who plays it bad. McDougald missed tackle. This guy missed tackle because why? What do? The Jets typically leave their feet and just try to thump guys and bring them down like they're playing two-hand touch in practice still. That's not what football is. He misses a tackle too. That looks like a 5. I think Harrison's 25. Is that like either Harrison or Desir? Just doesn't make sense for Desir to play on that side. I don't think that's Poole though. It doesn't look like a 4. I'm gonna say it's a 5. That looks like a 3. So I'm gonna go with Desir. But if somebody thinks I'm wrong, shoot me out. I don't. It is what it is. I can't read a number like that. Number 1 dud of the game, and again, this is going to be a bulk of the show, is Mr. Sam Darnold. Again, is he helped out with his coordinator? No. Is he helped out with his talent around him? No. But when there's open throws, and there's guys wide open, streaking down the field, when you're leaving the pocket, when you do throw that ball and you're completely inaccurate, is that the coach's fault? No, it's your fault. Now, there are some situations where does Darnold force balls because he's pressing because the Jets are always down? I think that's a fair argument, and I think that's a correct argument. But he is missing so many guys right now. Eyes locked on the guys, not reading the field, happy feet in the pocket, leaves the pocket early, doesn't set his feet when he's throwing because he has, he hears footsteps. And again, this is hard for people to break out of. It is really hard. Now with the new coaching staff, can you do it? Yes. Am I betting my house on it? Which means skipping on Trevor Lawrence or whoever they are if they finish at 1. I don't know if they do. If they get another win this year, listen, if they don't win this game, they got the Cardinals, who I think is a loss because they're not going to be able to contain Kyler Murray. There's just no way I see that happening. They play then they play like the Bills, the Patriots on Monday Night Football, the Chiefs. I think the only games they could win this year is this game coming up, and maybe like the Raiders game, who the Raiders are inconsistent. They'll play really good, really bad one week. Maybe the Chargers. Like the only games I see them winning potentially winning after this game, there's 5 games, I think. Broncos, Raiders, Chargers, and the Dolphins twice. I don't remember the end of the schedule. Maybe the Browns, if the Browns are really playing that poorly, but the Browns are going to shred you in the run game. Nick Chubb is one of the best running backs in the NFL. So, and Jets defense line is great. Yeah, it is. Versus inside runs. Outside runs, it's not great. So, here, first interception for pick 6. So, Darnold said this, and this is a 3rd and 6. Could he have gone a different direction? Yes. Do I want his eyes locked on? Because look at his eyes are locked on to one read the entire time he's not reading the rest of the field. I do not want that. Do I like the fact that Cager is breaking inside versus inside technique of a corner? No. Do I want him running an out or a comeback here? Yes. Could he have run this route better? Yes. This is my problem with his route running at Georgia was his route stems are just they don't do enough work. And for him to just open up outside like this and just start to drift outside, you're letting him squeeze you and you're letting him get in good position. What happens? He runs outside, which again, with the guy who's heads up, now he's inside leverage. You're letting the guy get inside leverage on a route, or you're running for him to get inside leverage on a route that you're trying to break to the inside. Does that make sense? No. So a bad route run by Cager. What I want to see him do is, even if he does this, even if he's going to stem him outside, if he's going to use like a stretch release or whatever it may be, I want to see him widen him out, cross his face, get inside, and then break it back to the ball. You can't let a guy have inside leverage of you when you're trying to run a stop route or a stick route or a curl, again, whatever you want to call it. So bad route because of his stem and understanding how to attack the DB in the situation. Bad by Darnold staring down that side of the field the entire time. Bad location of the ball. It's inside. If anything, again, he's inside leverage. Put it to the outside. Make him work for that ball. Like I get it. You don't have guys. It's third down. You have to force the ball a little bit. Put it outside leverage. Read the rest of the field is one. You have Herndon on the inside who's playing against a linebacker. Herndon is your best threat on offense right now, even though he's been disappointing from some drops and things like that. But there's also a couple of plays where Darnold that just missed him. So I think Herndon has like Gesicki, Herndon has the capabilities of being salvaged. I still think he could be a good tight end. He has inside leverage of the tight end. You have Herndon who breaks inside. Now, people, oh my God, he's wide open. The linebacker most likely saw the ball, Darnold getting ready of the ball here, so he stopped playing coverage at this point. But he has inside leverage on a linebacker and is breaking inside. So does that make more sense to throw inside leverage versus outside leverage? Throw the ball inside, then throwing it to the inside with a guy with inside leverage versus your outside leverage guy? Yes. Is it an easier throw? Yes. Is he more experienced in Cager? Yes. There's a bunch of problems here. Jumps it, pick six. Cager at the top of the route, I'm going to say that he overextends right here. His left foot, that stop step, he's really lunging into that. Again, this is not conducive with him dropping his weight into the ground and getting back to the ball. So that's one thing he overreaches, and he doesn't fight back to the ball. And the reason he's not fighting back to the ball is because he's trying to get out of his break in 3 steps. And this is this is things I'll bring up that I'm not blowing smoke up my ass, but I don't think it's even necessarily fighting back to the ball. I think he's drifting back in his break because his break is bad. You're not going to see a guy overextend like this with their stop step and take 1 step and then be able to get out of that break. That would be elite route running, like elite. Like Jerry Jeudy can maybe do that. The really, really good guys in the league want like 1-2 breaks like that. But even with Jeudy overextending like that and trying to get out of his route break and break back to the ball, I don't think he could do it. And he's one of the best route runners in the league. Keenan Allen, none of those guys could be at this point right here where he's lunging and get out of the break good and attack the ball. It's just not going to happen. So it's not necessarily him fighting back to the ball. It's his break and him drifting back because of he's throwing his momentum forward and not down. Picked touchdown. Guess you're gonna watch the offensive line here. So just to give props to some other people, Lewis had a holding. He had a bad player too. I think Lewis overall has been better than I expected. You have McGovern, who I'll get into. He was clearly injured in this game. I could tell he was injured. He just did not look as aggressive as he does. So he played poorly, but I think he's playing through an injury. He's been a little bit of a disappointment, but I do think he'll bounce back. His tape was good with the Broncos. The only problem with the Broncos was it was a 1 year of good production. So does he even out? It's like watching just 1 year of Poole last year and expecting that to be him for the rest of his career, which maybe I should watch more, but that's just how it is. Sometimes I watch 2 seasons, sometimes I watch 1. He was good last season. I think he'll bounce back. Chumadoga overall, I think was definitely better than he was last season. He was playing solid, at right tackle, went to left tackle, was struggling. But he looked pretty solid. So whether it be him being a long-term starter or maybe, I think Fant's going to come in and continue to play because I like Fant better than Udoka. But him being a long-term backup swing tackle as a third-round pick is not a bad pick. Or maybe he does end up being a starter. Now, people who are going to say, oh, we'll move him to the inside where Van Roten is, before Clark or whatever. He's not – it's not Madden. You can't just switch right tackle to center to left guard to left tackle. It doesn't work like that. He's not strong enough to play on the inside. He's just not. He's a tackle. He's strictly a tackle. Good job with his figure here. Nice balanced. Opens up at a good time. Lands his hands, double punch. Lands his hands, runs his guy off the arc. Good job by him. Becton, same thing. Creates depth, good balance. His head isn't bopping up and down. Gets in that contact window, gets his left hand on. And I think he gets guy trips over Balaj, but he's out of the play. Moving on. 4, 6, 7. Forced to Griffin. Okay, so the people say he forced this ball. I don't think he forced this ball. I think his ball trajectory is off. Play action. So the problem, so there's benefits and positives to everything. So like the Jets, like a lot of people will say, and I agree, they need to run more play action, more bootlegs. The thing you need with play action is you need offensive linemen who could block because one, obviously his back's to the defense, so they're having more time to rush him and less time for him to identify those rushes. So that's one. Two, his offensive line has to hold up for longer. Three, you need guys who can get open and stay open because if you have play action, obviously Darnold can't throw the ball for 1, 2, 3 seconds. So you need guys who can sustain their openness instead of just doing quick hitters where they get open. So there's a couple of problems. Obviously, the rusher and see the rush a couple times with play action where there's guards in Darnold's face. So play action is a supplement. It's not something you want to do every single snap. Now the Jets should do it more, but I'm just giving you some of the reasons that teams do not do it all the time. Because look, at this whole time he's handing the ball off, which one, the Jets do have to take more discipline in their play action fakes because they never fake people with their play action. Like they might initially, but Darnold, like it's never like, okay, this action is faking them, but it's not, you don't have that split second where did he hand the ball off? Because he always pulls it short. Quarterbacks tend to pull it short to get the ball out if they're under pressure. Darnold obviously has a sped up internal clock because of his past history with the Jets. So he always pulls it short. I don't know if I've ever seen him put into a guy's chest. Play action. You have Herndon. I like this route concept, to be completely honest. So this is a time where the Jets actually use this is actually 21 personnel. Yeah, 21 personnel, but they're using two tight ends. They use two tight ends a little bit more this game. You have the flag route, the corner route. You have the crosser, and then you have Griffin who works on the drag and then up the field. A lot of guys, you'll see this. You'll see them put this linebacker in conflict right here. Well, he'll see the action of the offensive line. This guy leaking to the flat, he'll jump on the flat. He works across and underneath the formation as these guys pull everybody, the defense to the defense's left, to the offense's right. He leaks out wide open up the sideline. You see this concept a lot. The linebacker does a good job of matching it, staying disciplined. Darnold sees that, and my thing is he could throw this ball. You see this ball completed in the NFL. This guy is too far inside. He's over the top of him, but you have to put it in an area where you could reach the tight end before the free safety drops down. What does Darnold do, in my opinion? I think he puts too much air under it. I think at this point, you need to put this ball on a line. You need to put this ball on a line to, I don't know exactly where it is. Let's say the 47, 48 yard line. So I want to see him put it about here and like I said, on a line, on a rope. You don't want to float it up. So I think he floats it up and it allows the underneath linebacker to catch up to the ball. So people be like, oh, he forced this. When he's throwing the ball, this is an open space patch of grass. This is not a forced throw. This is not throwing into triple cover. Like it is, I guess, like triple cover by the time the ball gets there. But this is not a bad decision, bad execution for me. Over the top, way far inside. This guy, he should be able to hit this throw right here. What does he do? Again, this is not the easiest throw to make in the NFL. You want to see this ball completed. Floats a little bit too much, allows the linebacker to work underneath. Blocking. It's all fine. By the way, I will give props, even though he dropped the ball this year. Small props. Griffin has improved his blocking this year, at least to me. From the plays I watched, he stood out a couple times like, oh, that's actually a pretty decent block. So throws his block. Darnold throws it. Again, he looks like he's stepping the bucket here. So he never makes it as easy as he can. Like I know 97 is pressuring him right here, but he can step into this throw. What does he do? His weight is on his heels. You can tell his weight is on his heels, and he steps in the bucket. He doesn't step through the throw. Again, makes it a lot of arm. And you see how Griffin has to work back to the ball, and yeah, the safety's coming over the top. But if he was to put this on a rope instead of floating, you see how high that ball is, then these guys wouldn't be able to close as much ground. So I want to see him, again, really lower that ball's trajectory to make it get there faster. Because at this point, he's open. He could have hit him. Moving on. Darnold scramble. This is the play I'm thinking about? This is a really good play, but a really bad play at the same time. I would say more bad than good. Okay, so bottom, we'll watch Darnold after this. You have the China concept. You have the short in and the out. In the corner. Darnold gets out of the pocket. This is a play he makes 1,000 times, not 1,000 times, 9 out of 10 times his first year. You have Herndon, who runs the out route. You have the defensive back, linebacker, wherever he is, look back inside. And again, this is why you do not want to look inside, because you lose your threat. Herndon breaks up the field. His threat's to looking inside, and then realizes it. Oh, shit mode. And he's beat by 5-10 yards. Darnold scrambling out is looking this way. Why does he not throw this ball? Why? Throwing in the and this is the problem. This is what he was good at his first year, even parts of his second year. Rolling out, making, and there was a player too where he looks great, where he's throwing a ball, across his body to Braxton Berrios, all this stuff. But there's also plays like this where this is 2 plays this year. First game, Jameson Crowder streaking up the sideline wide open, doesn't throw the ball. Herndon streaking wide open up the sideline, even more so than Crowder in the first game. What does he not do? He doesn't throw the ball. He just has to float this in the air, general accuracy. There's nobody here. Absolutely nobody. You have to make this play 10 out of 10 times. His eyes are looking at the rush. He tucks the ball and runs for a first down. Looks great. Oh, my God. He had broadcast. Look, he broke tackles. He ran for a first down. What do I see? This. Terrible. This is terrible. And can this be fixed? Is part of this the roster construction the first 2 years, and him not trusting his eyes and being either too aggressive in some situations or too conservative in others? He's in his head, yes. But after all that stuff, you cannot baby him. These are plays he needs to make. Does this change with coaching and a better team? Maybe. Can you bank on it? I don't think so. I don't know. And that's the biggest thing. I don't know. And what I do know is that if the Jets do move forward with him and they do get a top pick and he continues to make plays like this, the Jets aren't going very far. But now if he had a good offensive line, if he was in the Bills situation, the Ravens situation, any of these situations, year 1, year 2, do I think he could have been a franchise quarterback? Yes. Did I say I think he could be a top 10 quarterback? Yes. Am I banking on that now? No, I'm not. He's at this point, what he looks like is damaged goods. He's not the player he was year 1, and this is year 4. This is a play you need to make. It's wide open. Absolutely wide open. 10 times out of 10, throw that ball. Touchdown, 10-yard scramble, great. Could have been a touchdown. Not good, people. I'm not trying to kill the kid, but I think we have to be fair. I think there's situations where I could show that the route concepts aren't good, like on that 3rd down where they run a smash concept and the underneath route doesn't put the cloud corner in conflict. Yes, sure, but there's also times like that where it's him. There's problems with him as well. It's a lot coaching, a lot of the talent around him, but when you have guys streaking up the sideline, listen. And I'm not comparing anything too much to Russell Wilson, but Russell Wilson's had a shitty offensive line and some decent weapons, and he's an MVP candidate. I know this year it's better with Metcalf and Lockett and all that stuff, but overall his offense hasn't been great. You need to make plays like this in there. Again, this is a problem with some of the play actions. You take your eyes off the rush. You take your eyes off your reads. There's a guy right in his face. Darnold, this is a plays that he makes that really, really make you think he has it, but it's just too high and low. It's too high and low to play. It's too high and low from game to game. I think that's that play to play game to game. Yeah. Rolls out, sees this guy rushing at the angle he is, reacts to it, gets 2 hands on the ball, continues to have 2 hands on the ball, drops his hips, drops his shoulder, pulls the ball away from the defender, rushes up the field, throws the ball out of bounds, which I'm fine with this decision to throw the ball out of bounds. At least he threw the ball out of bounds. Again, they were banking on number 97 right here, crashing down the line of scrimmage. That doesn't happen. Could he have thrown the ball to Wesco? Sure, but it wasn't going anywhere. Throws the ball out. I'm fine with that play. Darnold scramble TD. Okay, so this is the play where people say, holy shit, great touchdown. I agree. It's just too inconsistent with him. Yeah, I'm not trying to hammer him. I really, really liked him coming out of the draft. I thought he could be a top 5, top 10 guy. I just think we have to be fair with him. Now, if the Jets do finish with, let's say, 3-4 wins, they finish with the 5th, 6th pick, and the new coach comes in and he decides he wants to move forward with Darnold, they draft Penei Sewell or whoever they're going to draft. They take I think they have like 2 seconds this draft too, like 2 seconds, 2/3, whatever it is. They have a shit ton of picks next year, a shit ton of cap space. So if they add a guy like Juju, draft Penei Sewell, draft a guy in the second round at receiver, they draft another offensive lineman, so they have, then you're going to next year with whether it be Penei Sewell at right tackle, Cam Clark at right guard, or another guy at right guard, McGovern, Lewis, and Becton. Like, that's a solid offensive line. Yeah, then you add, let's say Juju and a second-round receiver plus Mims, and Crowder. Okay, now you're looking at a pretty – I think the offense can turn around pretty quickly. I think the more work has to actually be done to the defense. The offense is just brutally injured right now. But the offensive line, I think you have 2 starters for the future, whether that be, Becton and McGovern, or Becton and Fant or Adoga. I think you have 2 spots. I think you potentially have 3 with Lewis and or Clark. So I think they'll address like 2 positions next year, maybe only even 1, and then put more weapons around Sam. But I think if you had, let's say Crowder, who obviously his contract is relatively big next year, so they might cut him. But if you do, add an offensive lineman and then you add a Juju, you have Mims healthy, you keep Crowder, and then you draft another guy, that's a solid top 4 guys. It's not groundbreaking. It's not the legit number 1 unless Mims turns into that. But I don't see that as a huge possibility year 1 because of what the situation he's put into. Obviously, not having a training camp, being injured the first 5 weeks or 4 weeks of the season, and coming in completely new. Okay, but look at Darnold, drops back, doesn't see anything he wants to throw. I agree with. There's nothing open, not open. Open, but not going to throw that. This is you could throw a seed into there, but it's not what he wants. I'm okay with this decision. Sees some pressure in his face. Again, sees the angle he's taking, drops his shoulder. I don't know if 2 hands are on the ball right now. Arm tackle, breaks that, continues to read the field, scrambles out to his right, breaks another arm tackle. Good job by Barrios right here, who did a good job this game for the most part. Some of his routes are schemed open, but breaks inside, sees Darnold rolling out to his right. Barrios breaks it back outside. Darnold sees him, throws the ball. General accuracy, puts it right on touchdown. Now, why couldn't he throw these type? He can make this play, but he can't throw it to Herndon streaking down the sideline with 10 yards of space. Again, too high, too low. Reads the field. Who gets beat here? McGovern. Yeah, this is just a McGovern. One, he doesn't look healthy. He's not as aggressive as he was earlier in the year, and even in Denver. So I'm fine with him. Like, he jump sets him, gets his hands on. He starts drifting to the left. Lewis picks it up. Lewis goes to help Adoga, which is fine. But McGovern just never reinitiates contact. Like, there's times where he would launch towards this guy and block him, but he just does not look healthy here. That's my opinion. He lets the pressure get right in Darnold's face. Like, this isn't just his technique. Like, it's just him, just kind of loafing right here. Again, Darnold drops his shoulder, 2 hands on the ball, pulls it away, breaks that tackle, sees the pockets getting crowded. Again, thank God that this guy's a little bit more athletic, because he could have got sacked here. Like, this is the high and low, but he could have got sacked here. Good job by Adoga working back. Sees Barrios, boom, touchdown. Great play. But again, too far in between. 18, 22, 24. About 10 plays left of Darnold or so. Mrs. Hot read. Okay. So obviously in this situation, just based on alignment, you have the wide trips, whatever you want to call it. I call that wide trips with he's involved in the trip set, reduced splits from all these guys. He's involved in it, but he's the Y. Play action again. Who is this selling? Not many people. I don't think anybody thinks he's running the ball right here. You have the cat blitz. Darnold again. This is situations where he just needs to process it. You're rolling out to the right side. You have a blitzer. You're going to recognize this blitzer. Berrios is wide open. Wide open. Stops his feet. Tries to juke out who is what the hell is his name? I forget this guy's name. I'll remember it in 5 minutes, but not right now when I need it, of course. So again, what happens? He needs to recognize this blitz that might be coming, especially when you have play action. You got to be aware of something that could be faced, or you could be faced with it when you run through your play action fake. Darnold, this is his hot read if that corner blitzes. Berrios is wide open. He pulls the ball down and takes a sack. Why are you not throwing that ball? For what reason? And listen, it's third down. Berrios has to get to what? Let's move forward here. He has to get to the 46-yard line. He is at the 40, the 49, 40, 48 with plenty of room. What do you do at this situation? Throw the ball. Plant your feet real quick and throw it. Launch it to him. No, doesn't do that. Pulls the ball down, takes a sack instead. Just not good football. It's just not. Okay. Missed throw. Okay. Yankee concept. It's going to have the post and the deep over. I don't know exactly what side it's coming from here. Post, deep over. Good call versus cover 3. It's a little bit different here where you're having a slot match to 2. But it puts the safety in conflict because whether it be man or zone, you're giving both of these guys inside leverage. And then this safety is put in a tough position where he's have to either jump the post or jump the over. But either way, if he jumps the post, the deep over should have inside leverage and should be able to make a throw. You have the hold on, give me a second. Okay, we're back. 2 seconds for you. 30 minutes for me. Had some work things. Okay, so you have the Yankee concept like I was talking about. Drops back into the pocket. Again, pretty clean pocket. There's some people, the PFFs out there, whatever the hell the websites that you listen to, which you should only listen to Nania, especially for Jet stuff, because he dives deeper into that than those guys do. I'm not just saying that because I work with them or wherever we're affiliated. A lot of stuff's bullshit. So Yankee concept. So I like Darnold throwing this ball here. You can see he's decided to throw this ball. One, he sees this corner carrying. He sees the inside leverage. He knows he can fit it over the linebacker. So I like the decision to throw this ball. Again, don't like the execution. He throws the ball over his head. He drops it. He's open. You got to hit this throw. There's multiple throws we've seen, this game that he should have made that he did not make. So add another to that list. Let's see the footwork. Does it have to do the footwork? Blocking. Becton, 45-degree set. Oh, man, Becton's freaking excited. The only concern with Becton right now, and he'll fix his technique, can he maintain his health? Not throw out negative juju into the air, but just his joints, his knees. I'm not going to call the beat reporter. Somebody said, I'm worried about his shoulders because of his size. Shoulders. Why? His shoulders. You're worried about the weight. Your shoulders don't bear weight. They bear the weight of your arms. But I'm worried about the knees, the ankles, even the hips, So 45-degree set, comes in the contact window, boom, 2-hand punch. He's locked down. Runs him up the arc. Adoga, decent job. Van Roten, decent job. The one thing I want to see from McGovern is I want to see him take a more flat angle to this to get in front of him, not hit him from behind. Lewis does a good job, but still, pretty clean pocket, right? Darnold should make this throw. What does Darnold do? Nothing into that lead foot. There's no drive through this lead foot. Steps in place, in place, all arm. Your body tends to, I'm not going to say every time, tends to overcompensate for your lower body. So you throw the ball too hard or you sail the ball when I call you're ripping the ball. He rips the ball because there's no drive through his front foot. He plants it. There's no upper body and lower body disconnection. They rotate at the same time. Again, it just has to be a little bit different. You want the front foot to drive forward, the hips forward, the upper body to follow, not at the same time. All the arm, sails the ball for what could have been a huge completion. Moving on. Darnold interception in the red zone. People were correct, I think, in their evaluation of this coverage. And either whether it be he thought it was zone and it wasn't zone, or what most likely happened, it wasn't man coverage and he expected a Zorro call where they go first in, first out. Whatever it be there's miscommunication. He lets Cager inside of him. Darnold reading the field as soon as he gets to the bottom of his, or the top of his drop, the bottom of his drop. I know that he's reading the side of the field. At this point, he should see Cager streaking, and these guys can recover to the outside. You have the safety inside. Cager isn't expecting the ball right here. He's going to turn outside. So what do you have to do at this point? You either have to put the ball, float it towards the back end of the pile, the back line of the end zone, to put it in a place that only Cager can catch it, but this corner cannot recover. Or you put it on a line and you put it right at his outside shoulder. So as soon as he turns for the ball, it's there. If he drops it, that's his fault. It's his job as a receiver to catch that ball. So if he were to put it on a line to his outside shoulder, he turns, the ball is right there in his chest. So Darnold either needs to be quick, in either sense, he needs to be quicker on the trigger, put it right on his body, or float over the top. But you cannot lead him to where the corner can make up to. Leads it to where the corner can make up to, jumps it. Again, the ball, if he's breaking outside, needs to be high and outside over here where the corner had no chance of making that play if he just floated it. Or the harder play is to put it right to his outside shoulder right here where he can turn and catch the ball. This isn't just money quarterback. This is quarterbacking 101. Float this ball. Doesn't do it. He needs to recognize where the potential issue is, and that's this corner making up ground underneath. Outside shoulder, over top. Doesn't make the right decision. Puts it in one spot he can't. Boom, it's picked. The blocking. Pretty solid. Adoga gets pressured here. His right hand shoots too high. You see what I said with the right hand, with the hand shooting too high? Exactly what I explained with Becton is sometimes it will land on the shoulder. And Becton, if we're getting really, really technical here, which I like to do, Becton, because he's shooting at a higher angle, his arm will be shooting down onto the shoulder, so there's less chance of slipping over the top because he's shooting at a downward angle. If you're shooting at an even or upward angle, your arm is going to have more of a trajectory, is in more of the trajectory of slipping off of the shoulder. Little thing there. So Becton has a little bit more of room to shoot at a higher angle or a higher relationship to the shoulder, to the body, because of his arm slot and where it's coming from. You guys watch this for the technicalities. That's what we're about. So his arm slips over the top. He gets long armed, rushes up the arc, rip, gets thrown pressure, but everybody else does a pretty good job. Left hand shoots. They contain the nose tackle, Lewis and McGovern. Van Roten does a solid job. Again, pretty clean pocket, minus the pressure from the right side. But this is a play you need to make. He needs to put it higher here. Again, it's a hard throw, or it's not an easy throw necessarily to put it over the top like that, but it's a throw you need to make. Next play, 29. Darnold hesitant. Yeah, it's a lot of the hesitancy. Okay, so drops back, reads the middle, reads the left, reads the middle, reads the left. Like his eyes are bouncing a lot here. Middle, left. Goes to throw the ball, doesn't see it. What he should see right here is You know you have your receiver working on the drag. This guy he's way over the top, so lead him. I'm not even saying here, like whatever you want to do. This looks like it might be an option route, like a jerk route from Berrios, where he can go outside or go inside. So it might be a jerk route. So Darnold doesn't have to throw it there. But once he comes back to it, he pulls the ball down. Get rid of the ball right here. The linebacker's over the top. He has inside leverage. He's running. His hips are square. His hips are pointed to the outside. Who's going to win the outside angle right here with his hips open to that side and his hips not open to that side? Him being a shifty receiver, relatively good burst, and a middle linebacker. Throw the ball. Get rid of the ball. Throw it there. Lead him. Play you need to make. He drops the ball down, scrambles outside. So that's one. That's my first issue. Second issue is Berrios right here. You have these two guys, the linebacker in coverage, and he's running to the sideline. There's nobody here to cover Berrios. Do you see what I'm saying with this hesitancy? Can that be fixed? I don't know. Okay, there's a guy over top. I meant towards the sideline. I remember now. But I want to see him throw the ball here, get rid of it, lead him. And his eyes are down the field right here. You can't make this throw. He's not recovering. Lead him to the sideline. Not upfield because you want the safety to get there, but lead him. Why? Concerning. This game was very, very, very concerning to me. Very. With these throws. This game and the Bills game are bad. Like bad. And the 49ers game was only okay. Minus these flash plays he's making. He's not been good. So we'll see what happens the rest of the year, but he's got a lot to prove. Again, is the pocket the cleanest that I've ever seen? No, he has some pressure. But is this a big pocket in the interior if you step up? Yes. You have McDermott who's they're been in the arc and maybe he can get there versus Houston. You have Adoga who is getting bull rushed a little bit, but listen, they both do their job, relatively okay. He has to step up. The interior guys create a clean pocket. McGovern and Van Roden have this guy blocked. Lewis has his guy blocked. Hitch up in the pocket, have nice, clean, smooth feet, and hit this throw. Herndon's wide open. Completely throws the ball. Now, should Herndon catch this? In my opinion, yes. It's on one hand, so it's not the easiest catch to make, but I would like to see him bring this ball in. It looks like he taps with the one hand and goes to catch it and misjudges where the ball is going when he's looking upfield. That's my opinion. So I don't think he looks this in like he could have. But Darnold, his feet are just so uneasy right here. At this point, one hitch up. You don't have to hop into it. Just one clean, smooth hitch up and plant your feet and throw the ball. But he continues to climb. He's getting toesy. He's on his feet and just throws and throws the ball. Even if you don't have great lower body mechanics on this, you should be able to hit this throw. It's a 15-yard ball, even less, 12 yards. Hitch up, smooth feet, throw the ball, deliver it 10 times out of 10. What does he do? Throws the ball behind him, misplay. Telling you guys, and I get it. I get the whole argument for Darnold, but with this stuff that I'm showing you, and I'm not just picking bad plays. Listen, if you think I'm just picking out the bad plays, you haven't been watching this show for very long. You don't know me very well. This is concerning, and will this be fixed? I don't know. So you have to bank on him with seeing this stuff, him being a top 10 quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl. Do I care about being an 8-8, 9-7 team, getting bounced in the first round of the wild card and shit? No, I don't. I want to win the Super Bowl. So if this guy can't bring you, then you have to move on, especially if the number one pick, or number two, and it's Fields or Lance or whoever. Hesitant, okay. So there's two throws in this. Reads the middle of the field, reads linebackers, reads left side of the field, goes back to the middle. Malone is open right here. Linebackers. He could put this ball right at general accuracy, right to Malone right here. He gets stuck on reads. Like he gets stuck on reading the side of the field. He just continues to just not go through smooth progressions. Doesn't like what he sees, rolls out to the right. I like how he pulls the ball down right here away from that arm that he sees coming. So good awareness right there. Again, his eyes go down right here. What does the Darnold do from 2018 against the Packers or against the Texans? He sees Herndon right here. He floats this ball over the top. It happened. I watched that game. This is not the Darnold that we had year one, and that is very concerning. It's because of a lot of things. But here, he continues to read the field. He's not going anywhere. He's not Lamar Jackson. He's not splitting these guys around the field. He's gonna slide. Keep your eyes active. See Herndon right here, or Malone initially doesn't. Herndon does what he has to do, drifts upfield. Darnold can jump past this, well, or he used to be able to jump past this a million times out of a million. But now he's just off, man. It's just not there right now, especially in this game. Hopefully he bounces back. And if he doesn't versus the Broncos, you got some bad news for you. I don't know if he's ever coming back. Not trying to be too negative, but he deserves to be hammered this game. He was terrible. Missed Herndon. Yeah, this game is littered with bad plays. This is the worst. Yeah, this is a really, really bad game. Okay, so the picks were actually more excusable than this. Like that, the one pick, like bad decision, but I get it kind of. This play, missing Herndon there, missing Malone, missing Barrios as a hot read, missing Hogan over the middle. Like it was just bad. Drops back. They run all the routes to the sticks. I don't know what the down. What is the downage? The down. I don't know the yardage or the situation is. I think I didn't mark it. Okay, regardless, I didn't mark it on the Y. Check down, curl flat, and then just 2 sit routes. And again, Darnold just doesn't see the whole field. Play action, kind of. Reads the linebacker. His eyes go to the left right here. I don't know why he doesn't stay on Herndon right here, or whoever. Is this Herndon? No, is this? Yeah, it's Herndon. Herndon has room. He's maintaining his leverage on the receiver. He's opening up to the inside. General accuracy. Fire the ball to Herndon, ideally because this corner's outside and he's open inside. Put it on him to his inside hip. Put it there. He catches the ball. He turns upfield. He gets to the, even just the first down or the 40 or potentially even longer. Darnold doesn't see it. Checks the ball down with guys right in front of him. And he gets tackled. But Herndon's open. There's guys open. So blame it on the talent, blame it on the coaching. There are plays that are schemed open. There are players open on these plays that he is not making. So it's easy to see broadcasts and say, oh, there's nobody open. I showed you plenty of plays where guys are open. I'm showing you Herndon open right now that he didn't hit. It's just his processor's off. Middle of the field, looks to the his eyes are locked in the middle to the right and then just locked. Never sees Herndon. Could easily put up on his inside shoulder and run upfield. Checks it down. Darnold pick 6. This is a miscommunication, in my opinion. I don't know necessarily know if he should even throw this ball, even if it was not. But looks like Darnold was expecting it. This is like a cab concept. What he's expecting, at least, like with the dig and then the option route right here. That's what I call a spin concept. So that's what it looked like he was expecting. And whether it be the wrong play call, the receiver didn't know what was happening. It looks like he was expecting this receiver to break inside right here, and he was going to try to deliver that ball in there. Would that have been a good decision anyway? No, because the corner was right over the top of him, and this guy is underneath this linebacker. But it wouldn't have made it look as bad. The receiver does not expect it. He runs a comeback instead of a dig route. Ball is pick 6. Miscommunication. That who you put this on? Coaches, the receiver, the quarterback. What was supposed to happen? I cannot tell you. I don't have the play sheet. I don't have what they're taught. But you don't want to see this, regardless. Obviously, it's a pick 6. I don't think you should throw that ball anyway, even if he was expecting a dig. Moving on, do I have more plays? Yeah, a couple more plays of Darnold. I'm laying off of him soon, but Again, I gotta be fair. 3 more plays of Darnold. We're gonna play 44. Okay. Darnold missed Hogan over the middle. Okay. Drops back, reads left, reads middle, reads right. Pretty clean pocket, right? What do I want to see here? What you need as a quarterback, you need accuracy, you need pocket, you need pocket presence, you need poise, you need anticipation of windows. Guys are blocked up right here, reading the route concept. They're running overs. Well, they're running like a switch over concept right here. Really like a three layer, where it's like almost like a mesh Yankee, and then you have the overs from the field side. What do I want to see Darnold do here? I want to see him recognize that this receiver is carrying this corner deep. This corner is not going to leave this receiver. You have the over route underneath, who the linebackers are reacting to. They're reacting up. Stay in the pocket. That I know you're getting a little bit of pressure here. Stay in the pocket. You could hit. Is it Hogan? Yeah, you can hit Hogan over the middle right here. This is open. This is anticipation of windows. You can anticipate that window from here, like especially here. But Darnold just needs to just. This is what I say. Like he's leaving the pocket too early. That he left the pocket too early right there. Scrambled out to the side of the field where there's nobody to throw the ball to, and then scramble for 3, 4, 5 yards, whatever it is. But anticipation of windows, right here. This is going to be open. Especially if he was really good, he would pump fake this, bring this linebacker up, and then throw this behind him. People do that, by the way, to open up their own windows, and it's open regardless, I think. Throw the ball, and he doesn't. Scrambles out, and that's the end of the day. 2 more plays of Darnold. Darnold missed Berrios. Man, I didn't realize. I went through this tape real quick to try to get it out today. I've had to work, so I've had to really cram this in, but I didn't realize there was this many plays. Drops back, reads the left side of the field. I don't know what his eyes are locked onto, but you have a 3rd and 5 situation. You have Berrios running over the middle on which looks like another jerk route again, an option route. Inside, he has room vertical relationship with the linebacker, so the linebacker's not going to be able to close on it. He breaks inside. He's open. You put that ball, general accuracy. I know that he reacts a little bit to the right side because of the pressure and Darnold rolling out. But if he were to throw the ball here and lead him, this is open. What does he do? Catch the ball, runs forward for 5, 10 yards. Darnold doesn't see it. He freaks out with pressure in his face when there is pressure, which McDermott did let some pressure up. I get that, but read the leverage of these guys. He's over the top running it out. This is covered. This guy right now is not an option. Go to your 3rd read or whatever your progression is. Berrios is open. Throw the ball. Get it there. Scrambles out. Doesn't pick up the 3rd down. Moving on. Darnold, nice play. Needs more air. That's what I said. Yeah, needs more air. Okay. Again, these 2 highlight plays get put on SportsCenter, but they don't see the rest of it. Again, and I want Darnold to work out, but it's just not. So drops back, gets pressure off his left side again because McDermott's not good. Gets out of the pocket. All great. Shows that this DB, whoever he is, he's going to throw the ball. Gets outside of him, good athleticism, breaks that tackle. Again, he has that ability, that Tony Romo type stuff. He's not Big Ben, he's not Lamar Jackson, but he has that ability. Sees Herndon breaking up the field right here, throws the ball. Now, what does he need to do? He needs to put more air in the ball. Why does he need to put more air in the ball? This is open. Now, it's not an easy throw. He scrambled out to his left. He just broke open. But it's just like general awareness of if there's anybody who's going to work this ball, it's underneath defenders. You got to put it over the top. Darnold doesn't put it over the top. The defender works back to the ball. Sure, from this angle. Again, drops back, reads his left. Doga is okay right here, not the best. I want to see him widen his guy out a little bit more. McDermott is bad. Shoots his hands wide, gets his arms controlled. The guy rips, bends, almost gets to Darnold. Darnold escapes it, steps to his right, feeling that pressure off his left, sees another guy, scrambles out now to his left. Fakes the throw, or shows he's going to throw. Fakes out the defender, the DB. Continues his sideline, waiting for some guy to get open. Herndon recognizes that the vertical part of the field is open. Darnold floats it, but doesn't put enough air under it. Not enough. He doesn't get enough depth on the throw. Floats it up there too much. Herndon has to work back to it. Number 31 works back to the ball. Now, if he were to see this, and Herndon would have to adjust, yeah, guess what? It's Herndon's job to do that. If he sees the ball has a little bit more whip to it, he has to run up the field and catch the ball. He has to adjust to that. But he needs to put more air under this. No? That's my thoughts. Doesn't do it. Ball is deflected. Moving on from Darnold. There's not a lot of, and 17 for 29, 168 yards, one TD, 3 picks. I said he needed to limit these games maybe to 1, 2, 3 this year to show me he's the guy undoubtedly. He's had 2 bad, 1 good. He can only have like another bad game or 2 before it's like, listen, man, we're going to be taking a guy at 2, 3, trading up from 5 to 3, wasting picks, whatever it is. We're going to discuss it all off season. I'm going to be pretty quick with the studs because there is not many who deserve studs. I'm going to give Berrios my third. 4 receptions, 64 yards. I think in relief of Crowder, he's shown that he could be a depth piece, maybe even a long-term starter. Let's say if you did have Mims and let's just say it's, and I want more than this, but let's just say it's Mims, Juju Smith and Berrios. Can you get by with that? Yes, but I want more. So I want Berrios to be a depth piece. Now, if you have, like I said, Mims, Juju, Crowder, Berrios, and then like a second or third round receiver, then you're looking at a pretty solid group, but he's been pretty solid in his relief duties. My second stud of the game, a guy who stepped up when he's gotten a chance. At first, he was injured in camp and all that stuff, but with the Rams, when he was playing with the Rams, he was pretty solid. And now with the Jets, he's proven that he could be a decent rusher for the Jets, and hopefully he continues to build on it. That being John Franklin Myers. So he's my first stud of the game. This is a play where I'm going to bash Austin again, but this is more about John Franklin Myers. So again, just watching Austin really quickly. Outside leverage, opens his hips up instead of weaving, is not backpedaling. Again, what does this do when your hips are open like this and you're running down the field? You're not going to be able to react to anything to the outside that he breaks. Breaks outside, loses them, and the ball is overthrown. This is open. Phillip Rivers could have hit this. He did not. So Austin gets beat. What should Austin do? Again, open your hips up, weave, break on the ball. What does he do? He gets into a shuffle technique. He's most likely looking inside. He sees in peripheral vision the receiver start to stem inside because at first it's outside, then it's vertical. He reacts to the vertical. Now that puts him in even more of a shitty position to get outside. The guy breaks outside. Not a great break at all. Beats Austin. The ball is overthrown. Bad play by Austin. But it's a missed throw. Or a missed throw. John Franklin Myers, left side. Rushes up the arc. Whether he's playing the bull rush or not, the right tackle aids him in doing so by opening his chest up like he does right here. Franklin Myers takes advantage of it. Honestly, his hands are a little bit lower. Bull rushes, throws him to the ground, and pressures Rivers. Now, you could contribute him with this missed throw because if he didn't have that pressure, if he didn't see that pressure coming off his right side, would he have continued to drift to the left and not completely set his feet and have to fade into that ball? Maybe. So good job, good power. He has good straight line speed, power. You can see it right here. He just trucked this guy over. Good play. Bad play by Austin. All right. Cover 2, invert, John Franklin Myers hold, Sear PD. Okay, so they run an inverted cover 2. So we're gonna have one of the corners playing in a deep half. Yep. deep half, Tampa, 4 underneath zones. The Seer does a good job right here. So he gets into a shuffle technique, but you see how he's playing the quarterback, but also playing this kind of peripheral vision. And the good thing about this shuffle technique is, do you see how he's opened his hips up, but he's not overreacting? He's not in full sprint. Like, he's pretty patient with his feet right here. Sees the break, sees the quarterback throwing the ball, loading up to throw the ball. He breaks to the near shoulder, plays the ball deflection. Good play by him. I'll give credit when it's due. Again, I've hammered this year plenty, but this is actually a good play. Pass deflection. Now watching Franklin Myers. 5 tech right here. Gap exchange. Shoots inside. You have Nelson, who does not do a good job right here. I'll be honest. This is not a great play by Nelson, opening up like this and hopping. You see how his feet hop? That's his feet hopping like they do is why he can't react to John Franklin Myers knifing inside like this. Franklin Myers quickly reads that, sees the leverage, club, arm over, power to work through that, gets a hit on Rivers. So good pass rush move, good power while he's rushing and staying vertical. This year, good pass deflection. 32, 33, 45. 3 more plays of John Franklin Myers, who deserves it. He did well. There's not many guys. Like, I don't know if I could have went really far past 3 of studs. Like, studs, whatever. Pressure, okay. Off to the left side, he is the 7 tech right here in a 4-point stance. Rushes the arc. And the right tackle, again, who did not play very well, at least in these last couple of reps, he opens his hips up too soon. He gives him in the inside. John Franklin Myers recognizes it, takes advantage. Uses like a double swipe, but it's really more of like a club just to throw him to the outside. Clubs him to the outside, works past the arm, and gets pressure. Gets his hands in the face. Now, was the ball completed, et cetera, et cetera? Yeah, but still, this is a pass rush win for him, for me. He wins that rep. He gets pressure. Pass deflection. He's rushing from a 4-eye, wide 3, loose 3. Initially, he doesn't win. This is just too condensed right here. There's really this A gap's too tight for either one of him or Q to win. It's not open. He continues to drive his feet. The center goes to pick up the block on him, and he just continues to stay low, power through the traffic. Sees Rivers loading up on to throw the ball. Hits the ball / hand. I forget which one it is. I think it's the arm or the hand. Ball is floated up there. Basham almost makes the pick, but doesn't. So we'll play it in full speed. This is just effort and power. Doesn't win. Power to work through all that traffic. Gets the deflection. Good effort there. That's awesome. Good job by him. I think I only have one more play. Which play is it? 45. All right. Near stuff. Okay. Oh yeah, he doesn't make the tackle here, but it's in a tough spot, I believe. All right. Again, like he's showing flashes for sure. They're running like more of like another duo type play here. Quarterback is trying to based on the handoff right here. They're trying to get the defensive flow right to get these guys in position to block down on their guys. John Franklin Myers steps inside with the right tackle, gets his hands on first, plays low, club, arm over. He takes advantage of he like backdoors him right here because the right tackle's trying to step inside, so his momentum's going to inside, so he's going to go inside with him. Let him continue to go inside, club him, arm over, beat him to the outside. Yeah, you want to see him make this tackle, though, for sure. So you have May comes clean, You want to see him wrap up and make this tackle for sure. Drop your shoulder into him. He doesn't. He gets kind of actually hit by May and isn't able to make the tackle. So bad job on making the tackle, but overall, still a good job beating that right tackle pretty cleanly. Moving on from him, Becton, I gave him my first stud when he was in. He played great. Only got 4 plays of him again. He didn't play a ton of this game. We would have had a lot more plays that he didn't. He only played until halftime. I showed a couple of his wins already, involved in other plays, but again, I'm going to move through this relatively quickly. Make the show relatively quickly. So Becton, left side, good balanced feet, good knee bend, has a good relationship to the outside rusher. He's opened up a little bit here in this vertical set because he knows he has help in the B gap from the running back. I don't think he would if he did not have that help. So he does a good job framing him, uses his length, gets his hands on, completely locks him down. And there's a lot of those Darnold plays too. We go back, we watched Becton's plays where he was locking up Justin Houston, he's scrambling out. I don't know if I highlighted as much as I should have because my mind's going 1,000 different directions, but overall, really good job right here. You have Lewis, who does not do a good job right here. You see Buckner rushing in. I think it's Buckner rushing inside on you. I want to see him cover with his hips, not freeze his feet and shoot his hands. You see his feet freeze. They freeze, allows him to beat him to the inside, gets pressure on Darnold, and Darnold throws the ball to Barrios. It's a kind of a bullshit pass interference in my opinion, and the Jets get a first down. So good job by Becton though. Not a good job by what's his name? Becton and Wesco blocks. I'll talk about Wesco in a little bit, but he's been pretty impressive. Becton. Again, they're running like another lead outside zone. Becton takes the left foot, like another 0 steps. He evaluates what's happening on the edge. What angle he's gonna have to take to the second level. Again, they stuck with that 0 step he used at Louisville. Gets his hands on, hand on the hip, drives his feet, runs him outside. Look how much he defines gaps for people. Even if Beachum had this type of leverage on a guy, would he create this movement? No, because he wasn't very strong. Becton's making a massive impact on the running game as compared to Beachum. And even the pass game is better than Beachum because Beachum had solid technique, but he got bull rushed because he just wasn't strong and he had short arms. Becton is a freak, and he's playing with pretty solid technique. He can clean some things up. We talked about that a lot last week. If you want to go back and watch it, if you didn't, you just go to the Becton. By the way, I didn't shout out this guy if you're watching the whole show. We have a guy who is time-stamping all of the things. So if you go to the show and you're like, listen, I don't give a shit about the Jets defense. I don't care about Darnold. I want to move on. I only care about Becton and Quinn Williams. We have a guy who's a fan of the show who I'm pretty sure under every single show in the comment section, when you can watch the show, he's going to timestamp everything. So you can go to him. If you see a bunch of timestamps, just go and watch that guy. If you don't want to watch 2-3 hours and you want to watch just 15 minutes, that guy's going to help you out and he's going to timestamp it. I think that's freaking awesome. So I really appreciate that guy for sure. Becton gets his hands on, drives him to the outside. Wesco does a good job. Again, taking advantage, you're going to react to 53 right here. 53 goes inside, let him go inside. Block his outside shoulder. If he goes outside, run him outside. So he does a good job staying patient, dropping his shoulder, opening up that lane for Gore. So great job by Wesco, getting low, dropping his shoulder, running him outside. He does exactly what his job is, what he's supposed to. Everybody else does a pretty solid job too. You'd like to see Gore, to be honest, get a little bit more skinny right here. He can get through this hole, but he just doesn't have the quickest change of direction. You'd like to see him get a little more skinny and keep his feet clean right here. But still, good job overall. 2 more plays of him. Again, we're going to get through this. 17-19. All right. Mid outside zone. Becton. Zone steps. It's more like a 0 step, actually. I don't want to see. I want to see that change a little bit right there. I want to see him not cross his feet, but it's okay. Runs his guy outside. Helps out Griffin. Gets his hands on, extension, works to the second level, a really good angle to the second level. He's not going too flat. He's not going too aggressive. He takes a good angle, gets his hands on, runs him outside. Look at that hole that he's opening. So now this is not a big of a hole. Like it's, there's some guys here, we'll talk about that, but overall, and I think, again, Griffin deserves a little bit of credit because he has done better this year in blocking. He gets his hands inside, runs his guy out, good angle. He blocks his guy. Good job by him. Adoga, I think on the backside, takes a good angle to cut off his guy. There's some guys who will take a really vertical angle and let the guy come over the top. There's guys who will take a too flat of angle, whatever. He takes a good angle to cut his guy off, cuts his guy off. Good job by Adoga right there. I want to see Lewis cover a little bit more on the side. Everybody else does a fine job. It's just some players they don't want to go for 2-3 yards or whatever. I don't want to kill anyone in that play and take too long going over all this because, again, short shelf life of this show. 19. Becton, bad block. McGovern, not healthy. Okay, so again, there's some plays where he's going to have to improve on. What happens here is an overset. Darnold dumps the ball off, but so if you have a screen pass, the one place you do not want to get beat is inside because the screen pass is a little bit longer, developing. Actually, no, it's actually relatively short developing, honestly. So you don't want to get beat to the inside because those are the guys who are going to get the pass deflections. Those are the guys who are going to get hits on the quarterback. So you want to, on screen passes, you want to cheat inside. Becton oversets right here. This outside foot, again, ideally you want it splitting your guy. It is not. It's a little bit too far to the outside. He's giving up too big of a B gap. The guy is able to give him a hesitation. 1-2, crossover. Clubs him inside and gets inside on Darnold. There shouldn't be that much pressure in his face for that screen pass. So back in a little bit of an oversight, but again, he's going to improve. Gets the ball to Balash. And McGovern, let's see. Second level, number 60. I'm saying he's not healthy on this play. Let's see why. Yeah, man. His change of direction, his effort, like he's not a low effort player. He was hurt this game. You could tell he's laboring. That's not him. He's a lot better of an athlete than that. So moving on. Bad from the offense. Again, there's not a lot of plays left. I'm doing a couple plays each of some of these guys, but not a ton. Bad from the offense. I put Greg Van Roten. He was not great this game. Herndon with his drops, but again, he was missed on a couple plays where he adjusted to the ball or adjusted to Darnold scrambling, didn't make the play. McGovern again looked hurt. Griffin overall, he dropped that one ball. I don't know if I put it on here, but he dropped that ball. I think I had it on here, but maybe I forgot I deleted it, whatever it may be, but not a good game by him. Bad from the defense. Greg Williams playing Q 55% of the snaps and dropping into coverage at least 2-3 times. Do not like it. So bad on Greg Williams for how he's using Q in this game. Again, somebody asked me last week do you think it's an adjustment to just the Niners game, how he was penetrating more single gapping, or is this the way they're going to be using him forward? I can't answer that question because I don't know what Greg Williams is thinking. I want him to be a single gap penetrator more. He wasn't in this game, and they only put him for 55% of the snaps. Why play your first round pick who dominated last game, only 55% of the snaps? I don't know. The linebackers were terrible. Defensive backs were terrible. May missed tackles and was just meh. Williamson missed some tackles, wasn't great in coverage. Good from the offense. I gave Lewis a thumbs up. Adoga, I gave a thumbs up. I only have one play of Adoga that I want to show. I'm already highlighted him, or I've already highlighted him a couple times, but this play specifically, I guess. Yeah, this is a great reach block. Backside, lead zone. He's in a tough spot where with them running to the outside, he's going to disregard this guy. Is this a zone split? No, it's not. So they're just really just discounting that guy. So it's a lead zone. I'm not looking at everybody else right here because I'm just talking about what's his name? Adoga. Bucket step right here. Comes back and almost like what comes back into place. I want to see that I want to see this a little bit more quick. There's a little bit too much dead time right here. But really good job. Again, positional leverage versus physical leverage. Gets his hands on. And look, once he engages, the thing I really do like about his feet right here is he's not crossing over where he's losing a lot of power. He's heel clicking a little bit. Or is that – no, it doesn't look like his feet cross over. I don't think so. Gets his hands on. Feet don't look to cross over. No, they don't. Oh, they might right there. Oh, they do right there a little bit, actually. So I want to see that limited a little bit, but hands on, works his hips, gets inside of his guy. This is not easy on a one tech, even if the one tech is trying to shoot the B gap. Hands on, gets the left hand on the chest, the inside, and then works as a pivot point. Works his hips, works his feet, gets inside. Great reach block on the backside from Adoga. Moving on. And overall, for him coming in spot duty, I thought he played pretty solidly. That was an impressive game. So now next game, if he is playing or whatever, do I feel as bad about him starting? No, I think he was pretty impressive. Again, giving credit where it's due. There's gonna be some guys who people don't like. Well, Slay had good games. Kalen Ballage, listen, I don't think he's a great running back, but I think when he's in there, he's breaking tackles. He showed some burst, showed some speed. 5 receptions, 44 yards. I have one play of him, but I think again, I'm sure a lot of people are like, oh my God, really? You're talking about Kalen Ballage? I don't like it either, but I have to give credit where it's due. Screen pass, Ballage right here leaks out. Again, good burst up the field, breaking tackles, catches the ball, inside, outside. Stem him outside a little bit, break inside. Breaks inside. See this guy come over the top, breaks inside of him, continues to up the field, drops his shoulder. Verse number 32. Boom, breaks that tackle, continues to keep his feet under him, drives forward for another 5-6 yards. Play it in full speed. Again, credit where it's due. I know a lot of people want to talk about Kalen Ballage, but if you had a good game or a decent game, you had a decent game. Moving on. Wesco. Overall, his blocking has been really impressive to me. Or not like amazing, but pretty damn solid for him as this fullback type role he's taking on, fullback H-back. This is his role. He's more of a fullback this year in blocking than he is actually a tight end. So you can almost call him a fullback tight end versus tight end fullback. So you have 2 good blocks. Again, just watching these guys, not everybody else. Adoga's put in a tough spot right here with that penetration to that B gap. It's just not an easy spot. So some plays are not going to work. But we'll watch it again. For Becton, good job not crossing his feet. More of a 0 step. Shuffles, hands on. Gets in his guy's shoulder pads, drives him outside a little bit. You have Wesco, again, really good angle. I like the angle for the second level. Inside shoulder, drops it, blocks the guy of the play. Again, the guy dropped his shoulder, so didn't create as much movement as maybe you would necessarily, that's ideal, but he handles it well, stands him up. He doesn't get blown up into Gore. Gore, again, he's not running like super well. He's just not seeing holes I think he would have in his past. He's just trying to hit anything that's open because he doesn't have the explosion to cut backside and the lateral quickness. I've showed a lot, but here you want to see his eyes more active. This is super clogged. What's open? Now, is this the easiest cut to make across this much turf? No, but I want to see a little bit smaller steps, a little bit lower of his weight. Drop, cut, go up. They're still going to be pursuing inside, over the top. So drop, cut, inside, cut, outside. Like you have to make some two cuts. This is the stuff that Bell is. I am so much more encouraged about the run game when Bell comes back and even though he missed some holes week 1, he can make this play. Bell is going to bounce this and go up here. So I'm really excited for Bell to come back week 5 just to see how, because this whatever PFF does, they're averaging this or that or whatever. I've shown plenty of missed holes that Bell's not seeing, and it was there. He tried to get there a little bit too late, and he just doesn't have the athleticism he used to have. So good. It was blocked relatively well. He had a cutback. He couldn't hit it. So moving on from that, I'd say Basham played okay. Still overall, he's meh. Like he makes some plays in the run game, some plays in pass, but overall he's just okay. Let's see. I have one play of him run stuff that's decent, but I still put him in the bad. He's just not getting a ton of pass rush. So right side right here, he is a 6-eye. 3-point stance. Offensive line zone steps. He steps with them, lowers his helmet, gets his hands on the right tackle, who had a decent amount of trouble this game. penetrates the B gap. You think that's where the run is going, penetrates it, gets his hands on, run stuff. So good power right there and good feel for that blocking scheme. Huff, I put, this is the good from the defense. Sorry. I put the good from the defense. So I did give him a more positive grade, but still overall he was just, okay. Nothing great, but still I'm talking about not a starting linebacker, but as a reserve guy, I think he's okay. Huff had a pressure or two, which again for his first game, I'll give him some credit for. He is right here, I think, the wide 5. He has the power. He has the power and the speed. Rushes up the arc. Right tackle respects the arc, opens his hips up a little bit too soon, so now his momentum is going back. Huff's going to try to take his power through him as his momentum's not working to Huff. Huff gets low, tight elbows. Look at this. Good leverage, tight elbows, hands inside, bull rushes him, gets the hit on Rivers' elbow, who dumps it off. By the way, Austin's beat here again. Too far off. You're playing the inside. You want to force guys to the outside. They're in. Well, the slot. That's why it's so hard to cover because you can go inside or outside. But him here, he's just letting his guy too much space again. No hands on. You're playing with your hands behind your back. Everything is covered well. May is covering well. Poole is covering well. But right here, if this ball is on target because his arm didn't get hit by Huff, he catches this and runs for extra yardage because you have Austin never got hands on. So again, good rush up the arc, forcing the right tackle to open up his hips. Leverage, tight elbows, bull rush, hand on. Awesome. I want to see him develop into that rusher, for the Jets. Good from the defense. Again, another guy you're not going to want to really hear about. I'm not going to put up any plays. I thought Henry Anderson made some plays in the run game, but never in pass rush. He's no impact in the pass rush game. So he's gone next year for like $9 million, whatever. I put Q played okay this game. Not great, not terrible. Again, 55% of snaps dropping into coverage. A lot of times where he was rushing against 2 guys who were blocking him, things like that. So I gave him okay for this game, just not great. Again, you have the Colts right here who try to run, outside zone from shotgun, which I do not like. I think it's too long developing. It's not one of my favorite plays. Q, aggressive step upfield, sees Nelson coming into the block, drops his shoulders, drops his pads into him, gets inside of him. So he's lower and inside. Drives him backwards while keeping his eyes into the backfield. Running back tries to cut him inside of him. Q drops his hips, drops, arm out, tackle. I don't know. I think a run stuff versus Quentin Nelson, who's the most highly respected guard in the league, is pretty good. Boom, explosion. Right into him. Eyes in the backfield. Run with the flow of the offensive line. Disengage, tackle. Good job. Another play. Q tackle. The last play, Q. I got like a few miscellaneous plays, I think, and that's pretty much it. And we're going to wrap this up. Go through the Broncos game super quickly because I thought I wasn't getting this whole show out today, so I didn't do anything for that, but we'll talk about it quickly. It's by the time a lot of people listen to this again, it's going to be over. Again, so there's some gap exchange, whether it be that, it looks like he's responsible for the A and now, Williamson's responsible for the A and he's responsible for the B, whatever. There's a gap exchange or 2 steps to the right side, sees that the left tackle's coming down to block him, hands inside. And now it's both the right guard Nelson and the left tackle Costanzo who are trying to combo and drive him up the field. Hands inside, holds his ground, working off of his insteps, is lower than these guys, working off his insteps, wide base, holding his ground. Reads the running back. You can see his eyes on the running back right there. Sees running back about to come to his level. I like this. Did he stuff the run? No, they got like 5 or 6 yards, but he made the play when he was double teamed or combo blocked. Hands inside, attacks one guy, working off the insteps. He's gonna peek at the running back, see the running back right here, sees that he's cutting inside. What is Q gonna do? Because all of the momentum from the offensive lineman is pushing up and through him, he's gonna drop his hips, which is going to create unbalance from the left tackle who's trying to drive him backwards. So it's like almost like, listen, he's pushing you really hard against the wall, then you take the wall away, they're going to fall on their face. It's kind of the same idea. Drops that left foot to do exactly that. Turns his body, rips through, tackle. Good play in the run game. Again, good play. Moving on. Special teams. Man was meh this game. Didn't really punt that great. Ficken made the extra point. That's a positive. 4 plays of miscellaneous, and then I'm done with the film from this game. 13. Williamson, again, wasn't great in this game. Beat a couple times in coverage. But this is a run stuff from him. Gave him some credit. I also gave Q some credit here. Oh, no. Q comes into the combo again, drops his head. Nelson's able to get position on him. He tries to drop his hips and go inside, but he gets pancaked. That happens. It's going to happen. John Franklin Myers right here as the 4-tech. Hands inside of the right guard, and is just driving him down the line of scrimmage. Makes the tackle. So good job by him, just working through that. Again, power. He has power. Williamson diagnosing the run. Hands on the center who works up to the second level. Power. Hands inside. Throws him off himself. Reads the running back. Drops his helmet. Makes a tackle along with John Franklin Myers. 35, 36, 39. 35, 36, 39. Don't let me forget it. How will you? I don't know. Griffin drop. Okay, yeah, this is like random. I should have put this with Griffin, but I did not. Griffin drop right here. Drag route. Darnold sees him. This is 3rd and 3. Can Darnold have better footwork right here? Yes, it's all upper body, but he puts the ball right on Griffin. Griffin lets the ball slide right through his hands and a drop. That's it. Pretty easy with that one. Williamson beating coverage. Okay. He's right here. Remember this one. Again, this is just like that spot dropping, not matching shit that I'm talking about. He's responsible for the 2 to the 1. The 1 becomes a 2. And it's another cover 2. Again, the outside guy's always going to be responsible for 1. The 2 breaks outside to become the 1 in the flat. Williamson at this point knows that he's that Blitz Austin's responsible for Mo Alley Cox. What should he do? He should get hands on the receiver, and obviously he's not going to run with the receiver down the field, but he needs to get hands on right here, and then run with him, run underneath of him, because you're running underneath of him. What does that do? That makes the quarterback float the ball over the top, and that's where your safety should be. So if he gets beat over the top right here, that's the safety's job to make up for that, but he can't get beat underneath. He never matches. Receiver sits it down. Ball is completed. That's Williamson's job. Next play and the last play. Cager catch route. Again, Cager, bad first route. This is a better route. Bottom of the screen right here. Inverted slot. Like a tight inverted slot. He's going to the inside on this over. Closes ground on the DB. Foot fire. Arm over. Right here, you're going to see his left arm go over of the inside arm to defeat it. To work his hips past. Clubs him. He's open over the middle. Good job. This is actually a decent throw by Darnold. Darnold sees him getting inside. This linebacker's leverage. Throws it inside of him. He hits it through this hole. Cager catches it, tucks it, absorbs the hit. So good job with the foot fire. Or the short strides. Arm over, catches the ball. Okay. 5 more minutes. Not really. I think that's it for the film. So let's go into the rest of it. Broncos game. They're playing their backup freaking quarterback. They have Melvin Gordon and Lindsey. I know Sutton's out. I know Judy's a little bit banged up. They have Hamler, so they have some decent receivers. Their tight end they have so many injuries. You can go to their website again. I didn't prepped for this. Like they're missing like their starting right tackle, their second string right tackle, their starting center. They're missing their like a guard. Like they're missing like a lot of their offensive line. This is a game I want to see Q. I want to see Franklin Myers. I want to see some, Fadukasi and Shepard dominate a little bit more. Fadukasi and Shepard have been a little bit more quiet than last year. But again, Fadukasi is an inside stuffer. They're running stuff to the outside, so I don't expect it. I want to see more pass rush from Q, Shepard this game, Franklin Myers, and even Huff. Their defense, I know, Von Miller's out. Like they're starting linebackers out. They're starting outside linebackers out. They're starting corners out. Like they're banged up. The whole team is banged up even more than ours. So they're banged up. I know the Jets. I know obviously Bell is out and Williams. Mosley's out. I think a new Wassar is out. But the guys who could play, who aren't playing, I believe it's Davis and Perryman are out. Everybody else is questionable, but I think Becton's going to play. I think Fant's going to play. I think Crowder's going to play. So that's a positive. And then they get Mims back next week, hopefully, which I really want to see him. How to win, don't suck. The Broncos are going to try to take advantage of shorter routes, the running game. They're going to try to run the ball, set up play action, and they're going to try to give their quarterback easy reads over the middle against the Jets linebackers. So they have to protect against that, get some pressure on him. He's not very good. And the Broncos, like the Colts did, that's a problem with Gase as well, is they ran a lot of cover one and the Jets didn't take deep shots. They're afraid to take deep shots or take deep shots on his defense. Set the tone. Don't come out playing scared and afraid to lose. Come out playing like a pissed off 0-3 team that you claim to be, and actually freaking try to win the game. But at the same time, like, do you want to win? Do you want Gates to get fired? We'll see what happens. I don't have a score prediction written down. I picked the under. It's funny. I actually I was just ballsy. I put 100. So just my betting, I put 50 on the Chiefs over, which is like 54.5. They scored 54 together, and you had Butker who missed a extra point and a field goal. Pissed me off. So after that game, I was like, screw it. 100 on the Jets and the over. Whatever, 40 points. Then during the week, I'm like, Jets suck. Broncos suck. Probably going to be sloppy. Cashed out for $95, then put 50 on the under, which is 40, which means that the Jets, to spite me, and this is not in the pick'ems, by the way, for the people who are in the pick'ems, I'll go over the pick'ems. This is not in it because I'm assuming a lot of guys won't watch this before, so I'm not counting this game, so it does not count for me. To spite me, because I picked the under, and I want, like, I'm always going to watch the game. I'll have a couple beers in me. This is the first time I could have a couple beers for Jets game, so I don't work that night. This is the first game I want them to lose. So Gates to get fired. I want them to lose now. I know once the game starts, I want them to win. To spite me, they will score the over. They will get the over, and they will win this game. With the score being 23 to 20. That's the Jets are going to win the game to get the over, and then they're going to be in a conflict where I'll be worrying about it the whole game. Oh my God, are they going to fire Gase now? The Johnsons, they're going to win. They're going to come out with a vote of confidence because they beat up a shitty, injured Broncos team on Thursday Night Football, and Gase will continue to coach. That's going to happen because that's Jets fans' luck. The one game that Jets fans, like, a lot of them are, okay, just lose a game, get freaking Gase out of here, then win the rest of the season, whatever. They're not going to do that. So the pick'ems last week, Jets and Colts. The Colts won. Texans, Steelers. The Steelers won. Titans, Vikings. The Titans won. Rams, Bills. The Bills won. Bears, Falcons. The Bears won. Comeback fashion again. The Falcons cannot contain a game. Like both, I heard a podcast or I heard a stat or whatever it was on Twitter. The game against the Cowboys, they were up in the fourth quarter. They had a 99.9% win chance. The game this week against the Bears, they had a 99.1% win chance, and they lost. So good job, Falcons. The Bears won. Sunday night, the Packers won. Drew Brees doesn't look like the old Drew Brees. Monday night, Chiefs, Ravens. The Chiefs won. I picked the Ravens. I just thought the run game was not going to be contained. The Chiefs dominated. This week, the pick'ems. I'll go through the games real quick and give you my picks. I'll talk a little bit about the game. Give me your picks. 3-0 Steelers at the 3-0 Titans. I picked the Steelers. The Titans haven't played a ton of good teams. The Steelers defense is super legit. I think Tannehill is okay quarterback, but I don't think he's great. I think the Steelers defense would be too much. They'll be able to contain that run game a little bit more than other teams have, and they will win that game on the road. The 0-3 Vikings, the 0-3 Texans. Kirk Cousins has looked like ass. The Texans are too good to be 0-4. I think both teams are going to be too good to be 0-4. That's why it's a good game in my opinion. They're two super desperate teams. They're already in a really bad spot to make the playoffs. Both teams thought they were going to be playoff contenders. before the season started. So I think the Texans are going to win. Again, that's a hard game. I could see that going either way because the Vikings actually looked decent last week and then blew the game. Texans without DeAndre Hopkins do not look very good. They try to go with the spread it out approach versus the force of DeAndre Hopkins. It's not working. The hardest game for me to pick is the next game, the 2-1 Browns at the 1-2 Cowboys. The Browns have a really, really good running game with Hunt and but my issue here is that again, they have a really good running game with Hunt and Chubb, and they have Landry and Beckham. They don't take advantage of those guys because they don't throw the ball deep. They just contain the game with the run game. Baker's not very good, but they have the weapons to beat the Cowboys. The Cowboys defense is ass, but I picked the Cowboys. I don't know why. This is a game I feel bad about. The Browns might win this game. Cowboys haven't been very good this year, but they need to win this game. So I don't have a ton of faith in the Browns and Baker Mayfield. So I picked the Cowboys, but again, I do not feel good about that one. The 1-2 Jags at the 0-1 Bengals. The Jags had a good game against the Colts, division rival thing. The Bengals, I think, with Joe Burrow are not giving enough time, but he'll be able to take advantage of the Jaguars a little bit because they don't have a great pass rush. I think the Bengals will take this game at home and go to 1-2-1. By the way, the Eagles, way to play with your tail tucked between your legs. Doug Peterson, that's a terrible decision, a guy a lot of people liked. And now look, the Eagles are facing what the Jets are facing. I'm not advocating for Gase, but injuries and a MVP type quarterback, which he's not anymore. They might move on from because of injuries. He's not playing well. He's sucking right now. They could have kicked a 63-yard field goal to try to win the game. What do? They take a delay of game and punt the ball. So they played to tie the game. So in that situation, when you punt the ball, you're playing to tie or playing to lose, where at least if you kick the field goal, at least you're going for the win. Don't agree with that decision. So they tied. I'm picking the Bengals. The 2-1 Colts at the 3-0 Bears. Another tough, hard game, but I think the Bears are going to ride the momentum of Nick Foles coming in and winning that game for them last week in the comeback fashion against the Falcons at home. I think they're going to put some pressure on Rivers, forcing them some mistakes. I'm going to take the Bears in that game. The 3-0 Bills at the 2-1 Raiders. I'm taking the Bills. The Bills are a good team. The Raiders are like an inconsistent team. They got blown out last week versus the Patriots. The Bills are a very, very good team who I think will be able to run the ball, and the Raiders who have a really piss poor run defense. So I'm taking the Raiders the Bills on the road. The last game of the week, the 0-2-1 Eagles, who are desperate and injured against the 2-1 49ers. I think it's an interesting game because the Eagles absolutely need it. The Niners are hurt. The Niners are home. I'm taking the Niners in that game. I just think the Eagles suck. They're bad. They're really, really bad. Pearson's not making great decisions. The receivers aren't getting open. The offensive line is not good. They can't run the ball. Carson wants to make bad decisions. The defense isn't good. I think Shanahan will out coach Peterson in this game. So I'm taking the 49ers. So to recap, I'm taking the Steelers over the Titans, the Texans over the Steelers over the Titans, the Texans over the Vikings, the Cowboys over the Browns, the Bengals over the Jags, the Bears over the Colts, the Raiders or the Bills over the Raiders, and the 49ers over the Eagles. Send me your picks. You guys have been doing a good job with that. Again, if you beat me and Marcus, me and Marcus, you're getting 2 shirts and a free year subscription. If you don't beat us, but you come in first place of everybody else, I'll give you maybe a free shirt or 2. So that's what we're kind of playing for. And it's just fun to do pick'ems. Appreciate everybody listening. Again, Monday night, 6 o'clock. This is being released Wednesday night, late Wednesday night. Monday night at 6. Tune in. Air it out. You guys call in. You want to drop F-bombs. You want to talk about whatever. Do it. You want to talk about the young guys, the old guys, who sucks, why Gay sucks, who you want. Call in or message us, talk on the YouTube. And then again, it's a mail, but I want to do a little bit of a mailbag just to get the show rolling. Drop questions in the YouTube below. Any questions that you ask this week, I'm going to throw it into the mailbag. So I'm going to make you tune in for the answer. Or email me, joe.blewett@jetsxfactor.com, or tweet me or DM me. Looking forward to talking to you guys on Monday night. And then after that Monday night, I'll probably have the review up either Tuesday night or Wednesday night of the Broncos game. Drop those reviews. Really appreciate all the support. Titans fans, Raiders fans, Bills fans, Giants fans who are saying they're coming to learn film and like the Jets. So I appreciate you guys a lot. And I'll see you in a couple days. Enjoy the game as best you can. Have a few brews. Don't let it affect you too much.